State of Origin, boys. Only 3 nights away. We'll have a look at the teams for the Blues and the Maroons and have a look back at the little round that was this weekend in the NRL. Scott Pendlebury breaks the AFL games record. Game 4, 3-3 over there in Melbourne. We'll review the week that was in the AFL conference finals in the NBA. Looks like the Knicks are going to be the team coming out of the East, but will it be the Thunder or the Spurs coming out of the West? Arsenal win the league. They did it.
No bottling.
Gooners around the world all happy winning the league after 22 years in the wilderness. We'll talk about UFC 328. The White House card actually just around the corner. F1 All Canada and plenty more to talk about. It's a World Cup in a few weeks' time as well in the soccer, isn't there? This is On The Esky. It's an Aussie sports podcast. We like our Aussie sport. We like our US sport. We like to have a bit of a laugh and a dribble. On YouTube, there's some timestamps if you want to skip to the sports that you like. You can check us out as well on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe. We'd like to start the show by shouting a beer to commemorate or commiserate something in the sporting world. Shauno, a bit of a sad one here.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about SVG's dominance at Watkins Glen about 2 weeks ago. Been another dominant win for him on a road course. Again, proving that he's probably the best on the planet for stock size cars going around circuits. But instead, I want to talk about Kyle Busch because unfortunately died a day ago, 2 days ago, at the unfortunate age of only 41. He did finish his career with 234 career victories, the most ever in Xfinity, which is, say, the second tier. So 102 there. And he had like another 70-odd truck wins as well. He won a truck race, I think, Tuesday.
Jesus.
And had a pretty foreshadowing quote now that, he never knows when the last one will be with this. But you go back to Watkins Glen, which was the week before, and he had called for a doctor like during the race and said, hey, make sure there's a doctor afterwards. Seems like he'd been dealing with with flu-like symptoms and had pneumonia. And it seems that pneumonia's turned into sepsis real quickly and he's gone downhill. And from the complications from that, he's unfortunately passed away at the young age of 41.
For our Aussie listeners that maybe not as familiar, he's a big name in
massive
in
name.
US motorsport, isn't he?
Yeah, been around for, he's 41. He's been in probably 20-odd years. He's won all those races, 2-time champion of NASCAR as well. So, he's a massive name that's been going around. Yeah, probably he's on his way would have been on his way towards retirement. But unfortunately, that's just a wild sort of thing to happen. I'm not going to get into the conspiracy about his insurance payout win that he got a couple of months ago.
Definitely don't need any conspiracies 2 minutes into this podcast.
Yeah, that the insurance company came after him and took him out. But I more remember the man and his accomplishments as one of the more dominant oval track races out of America.
Vale, Kyle Busch, enjoy your cold one up there, courtesy of the Esky. That's a bit of a sad one to kick off the show, but Sean, definitely the resident rev head and quite into your US racing, so a massive name in US motorsport. Monks, keeping a similar type theme?
Yeah, keeping a similar theme along with the motorsports. It's probably, I don't know, I feel a little bit bad talking about this one now after we talked about Kyle Busch.
You do want to talk about Wiener Dog.
Yes, so it was the second annual Oscar Mayer Wiener 500 leading into the Indianapolis 500 tomorrow. So they had the old, the Wiener wagons or whatever racing around the track. They had 6 of them. The New York dog, which was representing the east coast of the USA, was coming 5th by the second and final lap. Really ran it home, came in first at the end. But what was really probably the thing about this one was probably just the commentary was on point. All around the race. A few quotes I've got here. That is a dirty wiener. The longer the wiener, the better it comes to aerodynamic efficiency. And that's a tight opening there. I don't know if the chili dog will be able to slide their wiener inside it.
Interesting regarding aerodynamics there. I actually thought a shorter wiener might be better for for the aerodynamics.
I don't know, maybe it's like a little bit more pointy.
Pointy, low to the ground.
Low to the
Yeah,
ground.
more mobility.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, it's wobbling. We've got a wobbly wiener.
So this race, this bloody Oscar Mayer Wiener race, is like the curtain raiser, is it, to the Indy 500 sort of?
Some sort of razor for the 500. Yeah.
Which is
Crowd entertainment.
I just had a look. Is at 3 o'clock our time overnight.
Yes.
If you're into that, obviously big on the US calendar there for motorsports.
A couple of Aussies, of course, running in it too.
There's a bit happening overnight tonight with the EPL match day 38 going on as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
But actually maybe not the worst little segue into my shout of beer. I'm going to shout out Hearts over in the Scottish Premier League and their poor fans who were up and about this year. They led the Scottish Premier League for 250 days. So essentially the whole length of the Scottish Premier League. They were up 8 points clear from second place with 4 games to go. And did an Arsenal of old and have bottled it right at the death. We're actually just watching the highlights for Celtic fans. 2-1 they were up, and then Hart sent their keeper forward. Last ditch effort for a set piece to try and get that much needed equaliser, and it just went the other way. And 3 Celtics boys were able to run it up and tap it in front of a crazy home crowd.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a bit boring because it's I think it's been 42 years that the Scottish Premier League has been won by either Celtic or Rangers. So Hearts are really trying their best to break history, and Celtic end up going 5 in a row. But yeah,
What was that? A lazy 56 title as well for them?
yeah, I think we saw 56 in the history of the Scottish Premier League. So a bit of a farmers league when Celtic have 56 titles. I suppose it's probably quite old. Like I imagine we're going back 150, but it looks like Celtic probably win one every 3 years.
Yep.
But yeah, commiserations to Hearts fans in Scotland and around the world. All right, mop of the week, the opposite of the shout of beer for someone that's done something dumb this week, and Laurie Daly.
Yeah. I don't want to pick on Laurie Daly too much, but it gives me hope as a Queenslander for him coaching New South Wales. When he decides to pick Casey Maguire to play for New South Wales this year, a retired Queenslander.
Good utility back in the day, Casey Maguire. He might be getting a little bit on these days.
Definitely. So, I think a slip of the tongue. He was gone for, was it McLean instead? But, it was a funny little... Valandis or myself.
It's funny that you had a little bit of self-reflection there, because I was watching this live and I was like, this guy's a bloody idiot. And then I was like, who does this remind me of? It certainly has happened on our Sunday Night Sports podcast from year to year. To be fair, we do cover a lot of sports, and
I'm dreading having to talk about Sam Walker in a minute because of Sam Walsh, and I keep confusing them.
Those two, yeah. Sam Walker of rugby league royalty fame as well. Plenty of famous uncles. And
I don't know what it is with Walsh. Maybe I just combine Reese and Sam, and then I just pick one of the W's, and then just
too many sports, man.
Just too many.
Too many sports.
Also, very reminiscent of like the old fantasy football picks where you call out one name and they've been retired or out of the league for like 5 years, and you're set with that.
Yeah, an old player in our league comes to mind. For doing that, no longer in our league. Shout out to the FIFO workers around Australia.
Yep.
But yeah, the mob for this week is Laurie Daly for selecting Casey Maguire as a 20th man. And poor Casey McLean, who has been playing lights out for just a young fellow. I think he's only 20 for Penrith. And he's one of the ones that I've got the asterisk next to because of the rule changes that we had speculated about through the, really the start of the year and how that will affect Origin. And now we know, because there's 3 guys that weren't eligible last year for the Blues and just the 1 for the Queenslanders. I'll quickly run through the Blues team. At 1, James Tedesco, so need to talk about that. Brian To'o, Stephen Crichton, Katoni Staggs comes back into the Origin arena. Tolu Kula to make his debut out of position on the wing. Mitch Moses and Nathan Cleary. Adam Fanua-Blake coming into eligibility, the New Zealand middle. Reece Robson, Mitch Barnett, Hudson Young, Hamoli Olakawatu, Isaiah Yeo in the 13 and captain. And then the bench of Cam Murray, Victor Radley, Jacob Saifidi, Blake Brayley, Ethan Strange, and Casey McLean in the 19 with Dylan Lucas in camp. So what have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 debutants, I believe it is. I think that includes Dylan Lucas, but potentially up to 5, pending who gets on from the 6-man bench.
Yep.
I think 1 through 13, probably the biggest talking point is James Tedesco.
Well, we might as well just start with this Wales and run through it. So,
Yeah.
Teddy or Edwards, what did you boys think?
It did surprise me when he started, because his first name off the bat, and I had expected Edwards to be the number 1, and then I actually thought Teddy would be on the extended bench, is how I thought they would run through it, and it'd be interesting getting.
It's a bit hard to carry an old head like Teddy on the bench, you'd think.
Yeah, I don't know, with the 19, maybe I just haven't got a good read of 6-man bench, because I kind of thought that's what would happen with Callum Ponga and Reece Walsh as well. I thought these players are too good to be leaving him out, and especially a guy like a Ponga, who is a noted utility.
Yeah.
I thought very easily could have been, on the bench for Reece Walsh at 1 ahead of a Shibasaki or an Ezra Mann. But
I'm unsure of this, like whether it was a reward for Teddy having a better back end to last year than Edwards did. Looked much healthier than he did the previous year, which is why he probably got dropped out of the squad. And Edwards was okay the Origin last year, but maybe didn't burn the house down. But then I thought Edwards was probably been slightly better than Teddy so far this year.
Well, I've got the numbers here, and it's pretty comparable.
Yeah.
So for mine, Dylan Edwards has done nothing wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So 11 games played for Edwards versus 10 for Teddy. 9 tries for Edwards versus 6 for Teddy. Try assists goes the other way, 8-5 in favour of Teddy. Teddy's also had more line breaks, more tackle breaks. Only 10 metres separating him in run metres, but
both over 200.
230 versus 220, so they're both getting through a lot of work. Edwards makes more tackles. So when you do that comparison, pretty much like for like there. I just don't really know what Edwards has done wrong or what. Yeah, it would have been nice to be a fly on the wall for that phone conversation where Laurie Daly made the phone call to let him know he's dropped.
Yeah. And bringing back the old head and Teddy.
Experience?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe there is a bit of experience, especially if you go on 6 debutants. So maybe that features into it.
Although Dylan Edwards played in 5 grand finals.
Yeah.
He doesn't have as many games in Sky Blue, I guess, but certainly no stranger to big moments.
Yeah, it's kind of odd as well to bring back a guy that was also the New South Wales captain and then not be the captain. Which was some of the conversation for DCE when we get to Queensland talk about halfbacks. But yeah, it's I don't know. The stats kind of say a coin flip there, but I generally prefer to take the younger guy for more, longevity.
So you as a Queenslander, you would rather see Teddy in the 1 jersey than Dylan Edwards?
Based on the history and form of Queensland against New South Wales with Teddy in the squad, yes.
Fair statement. Fair statement. This, for mine, it was a bit of a coin flip, and it didn't probably bug me as much as the bench picks for mine, which we'll get to in just a second, because that for me was probably where a few of the head scratches were, and that Teddy versus Edwards decision was really one where I was looking and thinking, "Fuck, man, professional."
For me, I'd pick the younger dude. Because Teddy's not getting any younger, and
Edwards is also not a spring chicken though.
But are we talking like 30 versus 34 though?
Something like, it'd be something like that.
Yeah, you're going to get a couple more years out of Edwards potentially playing fullback for New South Wales.
You're thinking a bit more long term.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is that probably like, you've got Edwards there coming up, like
one
experience to Tedesco.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then 30-year-old experienced player, like I don't think you're getting that significant difference amount of leadership.
Either way, you're getting an incredibly capable bloke with the one on his back, and I don't know, maybe I just didn't have a great read on how they'd use the 6-man bench
on this season. I think it's a coin flip. Maybe if you're looking further back to how last season ended, like Teddy was significantly better than how Edwards kind of played out the back end of that year. But
bit stiff.
Toto definitely should have been there.
Yep.
Crichton and Staggs was interesting because Latrell gets injured late, so he's going to miss.
Which he's got a niggling back thing, so has a bulging disc in his back, which generally, people get a bit freaked out, but they can often have a bit more bark than bite. And often you can be sweet within a few weeks.
Yeah.
So watch that space and see how he goes in between game 1 and game 2. But good chance he is sweet for game 2.
And the interesting sort of mail I just wanted to bring on that position was it was likely it was going to be Latrell and Staggs because Crichton had the shoulder and been a bit out of form. Or
They lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, Dog has been a bit out of form. So, there had been some talk that he might have not retained his spot in the squad and it would have been Latrell and Staggs.
Which is going to be then really interesting if Latrell is coming back.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So game 2 conversations.
Both be trying to have a blinder on Wednesday night, that's for sure.
What do you think about the winger who's not a winger, a centre, being forced? To
be fair, he can probably play anywhere in the outside backs. He is lightning fast, and when he gets in the open field, is deadly. New South Wales do have a bit of a habit of picking guys out of position in particularly in the outside backs.
Yeah, it's not like the Queenslanders aren't doing it. So
that's right. That's right. I thought
it was interesting because I would have thought, I guess Toto's the number 1 winger in the league. I would have thought they would have had good winger options available that potentially they could have picked an actual winger. But
yeah, do you go a guy like Milky Jenkins, who is lighting the season on fire, but really has only been a consistent first grader for 1 year. So, and there's probably the argument that you could put a lot of players outside at Penrith.
Car's probably not there anymore.
Yeah, well, his name was in the conversation.
Campbell Graham as well.
But he got hurt. Yeah. So I don't mind it.
Maybe not.
I don't mind it at all. Again, if Tommy Trbojevic and Latrell Mitchell are healthy, Cole is probably waiting another few years, but I think he's was going to be a future player anyway. And then he just got the nod over Casey McLean, I suppose, who's also on the bench, and we could see him come on. But you talk about another guy who could play centre or wing and do a job for you. Certainly, young Casey McLean could do that.
Not as big a Penrith contingent as previous years.
Yeah, still a fair few.
What do you think of the half pairing then?
Yeah, that's what I would have picked.
I think that's the guys you would pick, but with their record in said Origin arena.
I really hope that New South Wales win this year because I'm a Blues fan, but I really hope for Nathan Cleary's sake that they win as well because I am sick of the, unproven in Origin rhetoric.
Yeah. Moses has won 1-1. But that was without Nathan, so
Cleary has won in Origin as well. People tend to forget.
Sorry,
he has potentially not lived up to.
Should have been more dominant in that time frame. Interesting that they put Strange down there in the bottom. I guess Strange could probably play anywhere for front row. He's a big enough bloke to get around, but as a ready-made, say 6 to fly in there.
I don't love the bench. Like we can go to it and. That's not a dig at Ethan Strange.
Yeah, well, just run through like Blake, I think makes a lot of sense, like for Payne Haas. You get one of the premier props to kind of come in and replace a guy that's injured. Robertson makes sense. Barnett made sense there. Hudson Young. Hopefully Hudson can get a bit more involvement in the Origin arena. He's kind of been flip-flopped around a little bit. I think the whole second row was the guys I would pick, and then you get to the bench, and I'd probably pick Murray, but I have questions of why Radley and why Safidi.
Yeah, Radley obviously eligible now with the rule changes, having played for England previously. Some people say he's purpose made for Origin, and that
inspiring.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll give some of that 1990s feel about it. I have some serious concerns about him coming on and getting
knocked out in the first 10 minutes,
or put in the bin in the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
I think concussions is a higher on the poly market. Let's say.
Yeah, but at least we can replace concussion as a Blues fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, he might go out there and have some impact and put on a few good legal shots and fire up the boys. And the Saifidi pick for mine was just a huge head scratcher.
Don't like the Mays, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would have had Terrell May ahead of him. I would have had Jackson Ford ahead of him, the bloke that's coming second in the Dally M. And Laurie, on the record saying, he's a bit more of a middle and we need someone that's a bit more versatile or something like that. And you're like, Jackson Ford has literally played half his career in second row, half in the middle, and he's braining it week in, week out.
And I'm not sure Safidi's.
No,
fits that versatility.
Like Radley does, but
yes.
Saifidi's an out-and-out middle, which there is only one on the bench as well. So, I don't know. I think there was a lot of head scratches for me. And
if I look at Radley,
bench he's made,
I get the argument for aggression, but if you look at his statistics, there's a lot of better guys that could have been picked.
Yeah.
So, it's an odd one for me.
Yeah. haven't even mentioned Keon Kalumbatangi. Probably would have had him ahead of both Radley and Saifidi. So we'll see. We'll see how they go and what impact they have, and presumably both of them will get on because you look at that 6-man bench. You're carrying an extra hooker, you're carrying a outside back, and you're carrying a half coverage. So probably 14, 15, 16 in Murray, Radley, Saifidi all need to come on the
big minutes. Definitely big minutes.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's interesting because the first game's in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
So must-win sort of game. It's not a team. It's an interesting makeup of a team, and I think they've been hurt a little bit with injuries, of course.
Yep.
For first choice guys, but I'm interested to see how they play.
I'm still quietly confident in Sydney.
In Sydney, you should definitely be quietly confident.
I think it's the same thing as we fucking said since COVID. Probably on paper a stronger side, but
I did check this. If we look at this decade, there's been 6 series, and it's 4-2 to Queensland at the moment. So you would have thought post COVID in this period that New South Wales, with the list that they've had, would have been better.
Should be 6-0.
Yeah,
like. I don't know. Am I missing something there? Like when
New South Wales don't know Origin.
Particularly back to the
maybe the coach is the issue.
21 sort of 20 and 21, the worst Queensland team of all time. That that quote coming to fucking bite us in the ass. Like.
Wayne said, "Neck minute, watch out."
Yeah.
Been a fire.
I do feel like they've been outcoached a little bit. Like I think Wayne coming in really helped for that. Billy coming up is, I think he's been better. Outcoached Fittler, and I think he's of course outcoached Daly. So we'll see how Daly goes. He's probably on the chopping block because he doesn't have a contract for next year too. There is the rumors about what does Ivan want to do. I don't think Ivan's going to finish early to take New South Wales. I think he's going to see out next season as he's planning. But whether they give Daly like a 1 year so they know Ivan's going to be next year. But I think Ivan's going to do consultancy, and we'll talk about that later. But there's definitely some rumors, that they're going to go look at someone else because they haven't got him contracted long term to do New South Wales.
Pretty stiff. I thought he did a good job last year, and he's sacked.
His overall record though on Origin isn't great. That's the number they come back to,
I suppose,
which is hasn't won it
after game one. You 1-0 down to have the cojones to sack your incumbent skipper to change things up at 7 and then to come from 1-0 down and win the series and giving guys like Shibasaki a gig in game 3.
I'm talking Daly. I'm not talking Bill. Sorry. We're talking Daly's.
I think it needs to go. I was so confused too. I thought you were talking about Billy.
No, I'm talking Daly. I'm talking New South Wales. Daly's got challenged. I'm saying that Billy had outcoached him. As the comparison. My point is, I think the coaching on Queensland has been better.
100%.
Outside of like Madge for a year, which kind of really obviously was what the boys needed. And Fittler's been there. I think Fittler against Walters was a better run for New South Wales in that regard. But outside of those years where you put Wayne and Billy there, I think they've been better coaching us. So I don't think Daly's long for being New South Wales coach.
Can Ivan Cleary coach us for 3 games?
That was my question. Maybe Ivan comes along next year, but I think Ivan sees out the year after. So it could be a while. And then Chad is, if Craig wants to pain the boots up, they're going to go after Billy hard. So to go play coach Melbourne. So,
okay.
So if you talk Queensland coach, I think Billy will do it until they don't want him anymore. Because I think he's done a pretty good job, and unless he wants to be, I don't think he'd want to go to Clubland. I think being Queensland coach and doing media gig is a much better, much better than being
highly stressful for 3 games.
Yeah, exactly.
The other 9 months a year is not too bad.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to see how that plays out. Run us through the Queensland.
Yeah, I'll run us through. So Kalen Ponga wearing the 1. There was a lot of speculation that he was maybe going to play in the halves, which was some.
Yes, odd rumours coming out.
Someone just ends up running with it, and it's
I wonder if that was, just smoke screens to get Laurie.
It's being widely reported on Sunday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and I think the thinking was, are Queensland going to do something crazy where they're going to do a very heavy running style game to take advantage of the set restarts? Game we've got this season. Luckily, it was all bullshit because I was just like, I was like playing Bogger at 7. that's an absolute crackpot to me.
To be fair, like in good ball, like when they're in there attacking 20, Ponga does play like a 7 a fair bit.
Yeah.
Defensively, might have been a bit of a different story.
Yeah. Like I could see how they would make it work. It's Munster's team. Munster's going to run around. And yeah, you're putting Ponga close to the line so he can either dish it or make a move and hopefully go deep. Like I can see them working on it, but also I was like, I'd rather a traditional 7 that's going to do you predominantly your kicking game, which is also going to be super important. So yeah.
So Ponga at 1, Selwyn Cobbo returns to Origin.
Yep.
Robert Toya, Hammer in the centres. Jojo Fafita to get his debut on the wing. Cameron Munster and Sam Walker in the 7. I'll have a little talk about that. Tom Flegler. That's a big, good story after he missed close to 2 years with that sort of nerve root compression in his neck. Harry Grant, Tino Fasasua Malawi, Ruben Cotter, Kurt Capel, Max Plath to debut at lock. Britton Nickera, so they only went the 1 under the new eligibility rules. In the 14, Lindsay Collins, Patrick Carrigan, Trent Liero, Ezra Mann, Gamat Shibasaki, and the 20th man is Cooley Finifuaki. A lot of people actually had him in their starting 17, so maybe a little stiff to miss out, but I'm sure we'll see him.
Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting that Capewell was kind of getting a gig, but I guess Nano.
I think Billy really likes Kurt Capewell. Yeah, there's a clear
go back
connection
to that
there.
Experienced veteran guy that doesn't make money fuck ups, makes shitloads of tackles. That's probably what he likes.
He also likes Ruben Cotter on an edge, which is interesting.
Yes,
I think Cotter's a great player. Yeah, I do wonder about him on an edge when you have some other options. I thought Hyland Lukey from Cowboys may have been getting a nod there on the edge, but that's how they line up. Sammy Walker probably the biggest talking point, I guess, in terms of.
Let's do the same
7.
and run through the list. Ponga versus Walsh. That was the conversation. What was interesting, if we go back to the same comparison that we had with Edwards and Teddy, is both have been hurt. Walsh has actually played more games than Ponga this year. It's 5 appearances to 9. But I think they both came back in round 9, so they've played 3 games that lead into Origin. Statistically very close, but the big difference, Walsh is averaging around 100 or just under 100 run meters, and Ponga's over 200. So I think that's probably the difference of why Ponga has been picked over Walsh, because I think he's just giving a bit more. His form is just a little bit better, and Walsh is kind of working his way back into it. I think everyone's thinking is like, this is the Walsh that dominated last year to win.
Like with the best player in the world in the final
Carry
series
Brisbane
last year.
to basically single-handedly won the comp last year. So, but he's not that guy this year. And he's just coming back from a face fracture. He's wearing the mask. So, like on his day, I think he's got it. But
I would rather someone come back from a face fracture than someone who's coming back from soft tissue, who has a massive history with soft tissue. Like to be honest,
but he also has been putting in more run meters and been playing a little bit better than.
I can, again, and I
Bronx
said
have been on a bit of a slide.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think this team kind of reflects that a little bit, because there's 5 Dolphins and 3 Brisbane guys. So
yeah. I don't know. I said it at the top of the Origin segment, but as a Blues fan, I'm more than happy for Walsh to not be in that 19 and have a guy like Shibasaki or over Reece Walsh. Like that is much less threatening to have those guys potentially coming off the bench. I think Walsh makes, if you're going to go with KP as your 1, I think having the impact for a guy with a 19-man bench, which is perfectly suited to, carrying an extra outside back or fullback. Yeah, it's a bit of a head scratcher for me.
Yep. Yeah. I think Walsh will probably play in this series at some point. But yeah, maybe they just wanted him to get a bit more
run in the legs,
get his confidence back, get back to playing his absolute dominant best.
Yeah, my mind just goes back to 8 months ago and just.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was seeing halfway, through some of those games, single-handedly.
Was 8 months ago though.
That's true. 8 months is a long time in the world of rugby league.
I think Cobbo and Toya make sense there. I think those guys have been playing well enough to get there. Hammer's been really good.
Yep.
Playing the centres. Fafita, it was an interesting one.
But, any other wingers that you might have had ahead of him?
Yeah, I don't think anyone from Brisbane's playing that well. Coates is still hurt.
Yeah, Talangi's been injured.
Yeah, and you're not going to bring Val Holmes. He's been out of form for the Dragons or anything like that.
Yeah, Val's form's been pretty horrendous. Interesting. Val was the top point scorer in Origin last year. Yes, he did have kicking duties. Yep. But yeah, again, is that an experienced one? But out of form? Pick a guy that, he chucks on Maroon, has better guys around him, becomes a better player.
That's it.
That guy.
But also go back to he's also not getting any younger. So, if we target some of those young fellas that haven't had as many caps.
I've unfortunately, subjected myself to most of the games. He's been pretty ordinary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there was a way you could have picked him with the way Dragons are playing, unfortunately. I'd like to see Fafita get in there, see how he plays out. And I think Cobbo's kind of reasserted himself playing at the Dolphins. They've been good.
He's great with the ball in hand, defensively and errors-wise. Yeah.
It's always Cobbo.
Yeah. I think he'll be getting targeted with the high ball, I reckon, a fair bit because he's been pretty ordinary under the high ball this year.
Yeah. Munster, of course, you got to pick him at 6.
Yep.
And then I guess we get to this question of 7, Mr. Sam Walker.
Is that who you would have picked? In the absence of Tom Dearden?
Thought maybe they'd go back to Dozer.
Yeah, interesting.
He himself coming off a little bit of injuries had put his hand up and said, I'm here if you need me. Because I do remember, 2023, 2024, win both the series. Ben Hunt, big part of that.
Incredible.
2025 misses out through injury. So I thought, if he's available and you need a 7, it's like, well, this is a guy that's played big minutes for you and is pretty good.
Yeah.
But also, go back to the thing, if you the next guy up, the young fella, if you're going to have another half for the next 5 years, it's probably going to be Walker.
10 maybe.
10, yeah.
He's still so young.
Because, going back to DCE, because he's old as shit. Fogarty's, a bit banged up himself, but he's not getting any younger. And then you don't really have a lot of options with Tom Dean, of course, being injured. So I think Walker makes a lot of sense. I think his game's probably going to play really well in Queensland because he's a creator. He's not a like a ball runner who's going to take on the line.
He's a traditional 7.
He's traditional 7. He's maybe slightly undersized, but he's
I saw a stat. He's the lightest player to play Origin in 20-something years or something. Yeah. Listed at 78 kilos.
Yeah. So since Alfie.
It might have been since Alfie.
So, but, I've seen the raps like he's better than Alfie. We've been the quotes this week, but it is a different game to the way they played it in the 90s as well, the bit of sports sciences, etc. But I think the way he plays with all that talent around him to be able to create, if they can get a good platform, protect him a little bit, I think they could be, that's where they'll be dominant. And if that frees up Munster to take his running game more than having to do the creation himself, that could be the difference. It's a very different style to then how Dean was playing for them, because he's a predominantly more like a running 6 himself.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's a running style that he plays. But I think the benefit is he's a traditional half, kicks well. So I think he's the right choice.
I agree.
But for me, it was between him and
Ben Hunt.
Ben Hunt. They're the two I would have considered.
I suppose leaving Hunt out just doesn't give you much 9 coverage is the only other thing there. So if anything's to happen to Harry Grant, they're going to expect him to play 80 minutes, I'd imagine. But if something happens, probably Max Plath to 9 and
Ezra maybe.
Yeah.
Like that just rotate him in somewhere.
Again, leaving out one of the best utilities in the game. I know that he's old, and I know there's been injuries there. But for someone who watched him carry us for many years at the Dragons, I think I probably would have.
What he did in that 2024 series,
he won that.
He should have made him the Prime Minister. Would have fucked it.
Of
of Australia, mate. We wouldn't have any inflation, bro.
Right. Yeah.
He was so good. So got a lot of time for Ben Hunt.
What about your bench? Nikora, Collins, Carrigan, Liero, Mam, Shibasaki.
I don't mind it. I think
it's pretty stock standard.
Yeah, I was interested in Liero getting another run just purely on Melbourne's current form. But
and he missed the first few games as well.
But I think he's got the build and the size. He's played decently well. He was there last year. So I think Collins it goes to another level when he plays Origin. He's a really good effort guy. So, and Carrigan's, I think, will play big minutes as well, rotate in there. And I gives good coverage. I thought Ezra was an interesting one as the potential utility coverage for everywhere, but again, he's another guy, one of those guys that's super talented. That's Brisbane have just been a bit off it this year, but on their day, he also is just a massive X factor. Well, like you said, it's just that would have Walsh been a better choice instead of Man in that position potentially. So yeah, it's interesting. I think it's a good squad though. think they've got a really good spine, and excited to see what Walker can do because he's had some really good patches for the Roosters, and the Roosters have been doing pretty good this year.
Yep.
Maybe a little overs, but for what he was doing before the ACL as well, like I think he's a good young player.
Well, we're going to find out in about 72 hours, Sunday night now at time of recording. So looking forward to Wednesday, and winning game one so important because although Queensland were able to do it last year, that is pretty rare to if you lose game one to come back and save the series.
They have a neutral this year as well.
Yeah, I think every year now they're doing that model.
Where's that? Is that Melbourne?
Sure,
Let me have a look.
Find it for
I'll
us.
It
bring
was
that up.
Perth last year.
With the teammate cups, do you think it's going to be more defensive or attacking football? High scoring, low scoring?
I think they will adjudicate it differently to the way that they have.
That's the question. I have no idea.
They can't be blowing six again.
Well, that's the question.
10 times.
That's the question. Well, are we getting Ashley Klein? Like, have they
It
announced?
is, it is Ashley Klein.
How many AKIs are we going to get? They get the Ackies back.
The Ackies.
Fuck.
Yeah, last year.
Up 60%.
Sean did a spreadsheet on how many times Ashley Klein inserted himself in the game, and I think
a lot.
Yeah, the moral of the story was it probably more than what most rugby league fans want.
Yeah.
Where's the neutral venue this year?
Yeah,
Is it
neutral
Melbourne?
venue is going to be Melbourne in game 2.
Yeah. Game 2.
Yep.
Bring it on.
Home game for Queensland then.
Yeah, pretty much. Isn't it? All right, let's quickly run through round 12. Origin affected, so not a full round.
A few news stories to come out of it.
Yeah, a little bit. Raiders lost to the Dolphins on Thursday night down here in Canberra. Weird old game, this one. Yeah. I don't reckon I've ever seen 4 middle forwards scoring a half of football. So they had Nafahu, Horsburgh, Knowles, and Ray Stone all scored in the first half. So if you had a little cheeky multi on that, geez, you'd be a rich man.
Cheeky multi on that, fuck me.
Probably no one in Australia would have put 2 of them in their multi, I don't think. But do you see the Horsburgh try? The double doink?
Did he bounce off the crossbar twice?
Yeah. Right place, right time.
That's it.
Raiders are, they're in a bit of trouble, aren't they? I think they've lost their last 5 from 6 at home.
I don't want to blame Sanders, but I just feel like their structure is off.
Well, that's the main difference, isn't it,
from
last year?
They still have that X-Factor attacking style. Like, they can score from anywhere.
Yep.
But I just think their out-and-out grind and grit is just not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
I think Sanders is a good kicker of the ball, and he has his moments, but there's just lapses. And some of it's like in his defense. I think he gets attacked a lot.
Yeah.
But it's forcing guys like Timoko to rush up outside, and then there's just creating overlaps in there. They're getting scored on way too easily.
Yep.
So
they are one of the teams that haven't adjusted well, I don't think, to the way that the game is being
not
adjudicated this year.
Not at all. Yeah.
Maybe Jamal Fogarty needs to get some of his just desserts with the way that Manly's going, and lots of people just calling him a game manager and this and that. Years gone by, and maybe he's actually a pretty handy 7. The fact that his name was in that conversation for that Queensland 7 jersey.
What was odd about this, sorry to go back to this Raiders game, was that they blew fuck all penalties or fuck all restarts in it as well. So like it was significant. It was about half what it usually is in a game. Yeah. So like what's so Ricky had a less than 2-minute press conference where he basically just came in and just said, "I have no idea. I'm so confused. How's the game being reffed?" Because it's different week in, week out. So
this whole weekend there was much less set restarts. So maybe
I wonder if
maybe they're priming us for a big game on Wednesday night.
100%.
I
think Horseman's put in the call and said, "Hey, let's just be a bit quieter this week. Get everyone prepared because that's what it's going to be for Origin." But it's the thing, like they just change how they want to adjudicate the game week in, week out. Yep. Like, it is very difficult. And for those old heads like Ricky, it is probably a bit harder to adapt week on week for, because you have systems at work and you want to stick to the structure of the way that you want to coach. Whereas the way the NRL's played it now, it's just like, we change it week in, week out.
Who knows?
Yes.
Bulldogs beat the Storm Friday night. They snapped their 5-game losing streak.
The Storm led for most of it.
Yeah, a little bit of an asterisk, I suppose, with no Munster, Grant, or Trent Liero. Bulldogs were just missing Stephen Crichton. They win coming at a cost butt. So Connor Tracy done his hamstring during the week. So Kiraz went to fullback. Jacob Preston breaks his arm. That is a massive out. That's someone as well, probably 6 weeks ago when the Dogs were flying. I probably had in my New South Wales sort of discussion. We didn't even mention him just before. But yeah, he'll have a few weeks out with it's just a broken forearm, similar type thing to Jerome Hughes last year.
Yep.
But then sort of longer term, and it's getting to be old news, I guess, in the 24-hour news cycle that we live in. But since we haven't done a podcast since it's been announced, Craig Bellyache, they've sort of kept their cards relatively close to their hands. They've just said that he's got a neurodegenerative condition.
Yeah, and it'll be only speculation to what he has and things like that. But he still talks all the same. His speech doesn't seem to be affected too much.
Yeah,
I was speculating with you boys that maybe more memory sort of stuff like that. He's no spring chicken, but my question to you was just like, this season's not going real well. Does he hang it up? Do you really need to be doing this if you've got that? You're 67. I guess it's it's his job. He probably loves the grind in and out. But, but you've won 3 games this year.
What you got to prioritize.
Yeah, that's right. And you just hope for him. Your long-term health, I think, is important, and he's going to be in the GOAT discussion, if he was to hang up the boots tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
100%, yeah.
It's a strange one, isn't it? Because it's so different. We'll get to Jairo in a sec where you know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've been very open with that.
But yeah, it's obviously just thinking of him and his family. And I suppose from, our minds just then go straight to footy. And how does Melbourne Storm look without Craig Bellamy? Because it's, he's part of the furniture there, isn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why they've had those conversations about, another bloke that was furniture down there, like Billy Slater. Does that make sense as a replacement? Because, it is a job that'll be well sold after, because it is a talented list that's just playing unders for whatever reason this year. So, I don't know. It's hard to be in Bellamy's head, but I know he loves the boys. He loves the grind from everything you hear from down there. But
they have had the most shocking run with weird outside of football shit.
Yes.
Like with Kami Kamitha and Katoa at the end of last season. Now this comes out, that has to have a massive effect, I think, on your playing group.
Yeah. Oh, it could be. Well, I think the results are reflective of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Anyways, Storm lose that one. Dogs back in the winners' circle, a team that's still...
speaking of teams that are losing.
Yes, we get off. 0-11 now. The Dragons go down 30 points to 12 to the Warriors in very wet conditions at Cogra. They actually started off this game semi-okay, and then the wheels sort of came off a little bit in the second half. Jaden Seward done his calf in the captain's run. He's
was going to play in the centres, though.
So Moses Sully out with back concern.
They're pretty banged up too, the Dragons.
Yeah.
Which is also a concern.
Yeah, but I've got the casualty ward up here. We're certainly not in the same realm as the Broncos or the Tigers.
Yeah, there are some.
Look at the Broncos. The Broncos have got 12 guys. Their hookers are out at the moment.
Yep.
Compared to the Dragons, yes, missing a few sort of key guys in Sully and Sewer and Little, and Cookie's having to play 80 minutes because of that. And young Cade Reid broke his hand and he'll miss 5 or 6 weeks. And any plans for Dean Young to try and blood him this year, maybe that goes on ice, because by the time he gets back and has a run or two in New South Wales Cup, I don't even know if it's worth risking his long-term health this year.
Yeah.
But you compare the Dragons to a Parramatta or West Tigers are pretty banged up. Yeah.
Well, West is maybe a good one to lead into that question of, are we going to see the Dragons win a game this year? Because we were looking at that draw before and it's not real great. They do have the Tigers twice, which is hopeful.
Yep.
They still have to play the Titans and the Eagles.
Yeah, but this is all
outside
in the last 7 or 8 weeks.
Yeah, I think Titans was round 21 and Eagles was the last
game.
week.
It's literally the last game. The first week of September they play the Eagles, so hopefully it doesn't come down to that.
Yes. Because outside of that, a lot of the other teams are all top 8. So they're going to have a real tough run.
And they might not win before their third bye, which is crazy, because we were having a look. They actually have a bye in a few weeks' time, thankfully, to get them up to 4 points, but they have to play Brisbane and Cronulla before that. Yep. So probably not winning either of those. So what do they got? Brisbane away, Cronulla away, bye. So I think
they'll beat the bye.
Realistically, classic dad joke. Realistically, they're getting to 4 points from 2 byes.
Yep.
Newcastle away, the way that Newcastle's been playing, they'll probably be short.
Well, it's interesting
Canberra
as you scroll
away.
through that, there's Best as the only guy missing out of the Newcastle. They're pretty healthy.
They're flying.
Yeah.
So maybe Tigers at home, but Tigers will have a lot of troops back by then as well.
Yes.
So Appy and Makassini and Alex Twal should all be back pretty soon. Dewey's maybe going to be back around then. Taylor May's done for the season, I think, with that shoulder. They'll still be missing Samuela Fainu, but they'll be a lot stronger than on paper than what they've been in the last few weeks.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's going to come.
Yeah. And for the history, no team in the NRL era has lost every game in a year.
Yep.
Knights went the closest.
Yep, 2016.
They won one and had one draw.
Yep.
22 losses.
So 1-1 and 22, the 2016 Knights.
Yeah. And
Funnily enough, coached by Nathan Brown. So
Nathan Brown,
a bit of
yes.
Dragons input there.
And I think it was, we don't have it there, but I think it was the 70s or something.
I think it
Last time
happened
a
in
team-
old New South Wales Rugby League days.
Yeah. The team did not win a game.
That also wasn't in 24 game seasons either in those days.
Maybe they just need to be relegated and you bring in Perth next year.
Although looking at Perth's list, and I think the Dragons on the up, I'm hoping maybe not back-to-back Spurs.
Well, that's good. Metcalf.
Yep.
So they did sign Metcalf,
Yep.
which is a bit concerning that Tanner Boyd then did his ACL a week later for
That's,
them, which is
weird
bad.
voodoo shit, isn't it?
Yeah, bad timing, of
Very
course.
weird.
I don't think they were paying him just under $1 million or around $1 million for Metcalf.
Yeah, 900, I think. Yeah.
That's,
Which is a gamble for a guy that has got a
Has
pretty
been lights out, but has been
history.
a bit.
Yeah, injury history there is massive.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it. I think when the club is
He's a young talent that you can bring in to be a half.
he's actually
so.
not as young as what you'd think. Can you look up Luke Metcalf? I think he'd be 27, 28. But yeah, well, I think the halves combinations that we've been rolling out the last couple of years.
We talked about in the preview, West Byron in the comp, and
Yeah.
I guess it's been reflected of that.
Yeah, and if Cade Reid and King Tonga can be good players in the future, that's great.
Yep.
But they don't need to do it right now.
No, yeah.
So I like the signing. I love the Scott Drinkwater signing. Obviously, I think that's a massive improver there. And Kalama Tungi comes across. I think that's up there with some of the best, off-season work in terms of getting guys across. But yeah, it doesn't help that question that you had before is about 2026, does it? With all these troops coming in next year.
We might cover it off here now, but because we're talking about Perth, Jamie Humphreys signs with them, so they're going to go across
Probably
there.
going to be there 7.
Yeah, Luai signs with PNG, as does Alex Johnson. That's confirmed. We're going back to that Ivan chat with Ivan, announcing he's stepping down at the end of next season. Peter Wallace is going to take over. I think he said he wants to move into some sort of consultancy role at Penrith.
Director of coaching.
Yeah, he'll probably stay around in the Penrith system.
Yep.
But it's interesting that they kind of aligns perfectly with where the contracts are for the current playing squad, because most of them end at the end of next season.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are coming off contract in November this
So
year.
they might have a fair turnover.
Yeah, and with Luai already going to PNG, the chat that Toto might follow because he's off contract, and a few of the other guys might follow. Yeah, there might be a bit of exodus in the Penrith.
Papua Panthers.
Yeah, exactly. So there might be a few blokes going out there. There was, I think Connor Watson also went to PNG to tour recently during the week as well.
This tax-free stuff's a massive incentive,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is, definitely. If you can, get 30-40% back on your earnings, you'll take it.
I think it's more, yeah. I think these guys are getting taxed at 45%
5%,
plus.
yeah, exactly.
So the Daily Telegraph ran an article on it, I think, on Luai and his current contract being between 1.1 and 1.2.
Yep.
And then the tax that comes
Top
in.
line
And-
tax
and-
bracket
and
is
if it-
47%.
If it,
Ask your accountant down the end.
yeah, and if it includes all their sponsorship money as well, that's all tax deductible, like all their earnings, like it's big money for them. So
It's funny, isn't it? Because we thought when this all was,
yeah,
why
would you want to go live in a resort in
Yeah, that's
PNG
right. It's
for-
not safe, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, how's it, you're going to look for your family life? And then you start thinking, well, tax-free money.
Yeah.
You could probably do a three
I'm pretty
years
sure
for
the
that.
resort they're staying at's pretty nice too.
I'm
so-
sure inside it. Yeah.
But like, vacation's good, but do you want to spend 6 to 7 months in the one vacation like area? Like if
it's worth
interesting.
$600,000 a year difference,
Yes.
I think that's obviously a big incentive.
Because there's been a bit of back and forth with what are Perth doing as a comparison, because it seems like PNG is getting more name value currently than what Perth been able to put down. So yeah,
Still early days. It's only two
exactly.
signings.
Exactly.
Where do we go?
Manly Titans, close old game there.
I just wanted to touch back on
sorry.
the Warriors. So Tamari Martin,
Yep.
they have So much depth at 7.
Yes.
He looked incredible. So he scored a double. So their third string halfback was playing lights out. And
Where are
RT,
they? Are they 5th on the ladder at the moment?
yeah,
Or 4?
yeah,
Top
well,
4?
Did have it somewhere.
You can check for us, Jimmy. They've been playing.
they
really
should
well.
be. They're third, aren't they? They're second.
Second. Jeez.
Yeah.
All the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing real well.
RTS,
Dragons do have to play,
can you have a look as well and see if there's
Scans
any
on there,
scans?
okay.
Yeah, so he left in a knee brace
Yeah.
last night. Yeah, hopefully that's nothing too serious. Did you find an age of Luke Metcalf?
Yes, he's 27.
27.
On the nose.
Manly Titans, Manly 12-10 winners held on just at 4
Yeah,
points.
surprisingly close
Park,
again.
7 from 8 under Kieran Foran. I didn't watch this. I saw a couple of highlights this morning.
Who watches Titan games?
Looked like it was a bit greasy there at Manly. But yeah, they're flying. I think they have a few HIAs that they need to keep an eye on this week. Any news there for RTS? I know he's had an ACL back in the day, but it was a long
while ago,
10 years maybe.
Just waiting on results.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
And Cowboys and South today for catch.
Jeez. Cowboys won.
Cowboys were going pretty well. The little bits that I saw. I suppose the big story out of South this week was the Jai Arrow motor neuron disease news, and obviously a shocking news really for a 30-year-old, but to come out and hear him talk and his speech being affected already.
So different from a couple months ago.
Yeah. They only started having symptoms in December, and
shoulder complaints, and they were checking him out. And
he said he was a bit weaker in the gym than what what would be normal for him.
Yeah, exactly.
He was dropping shit, and then clearly, obviously, that speech stuff, would be massive alarm bells. And
So officially announced, his retirement, effectively done, can't continue.
Yeah, immediately.
So a lot of support. I did see that they'd raised like 50K, I think, already for that South Fund for donations to help support
I reckon that'd be
him
a
and
lot
his
higher than
family.
that by now.
Yeah, him and his family, and ongoing, research in this area. But yeah, it was a bit of a tough watch.
Mate, you know what got me? The last Sunday night, Matty Johns. Fucking,
saw a
watch-
replay of that.
watched that bloke for 20, 25 years. I don't think I've ever seen him get that emotional in the.
Kind of speechless.
Yeah,
by the end of it as well,
He just said, life's fucked sometimes, and they just said, let's get to a commercial.
Yeah.
So that probably speaks pretty volumes of how good a bloke Jai Arrow is. That he said, he's been on the show 4 or 5 times and spoke very highly of him. And
we'll be in the Queensland camp too.
Good,
so they can have around the boys. So
great.
whether that's good for New South Wales or not.
Yeah, that's right. Last year, Cam Munster's dad passes away in that week, and then
Papa's final game for Queensland. So
But that's
it's fucked.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to say that.
Yeah. I'm wishing him all the best. And
100%.
Watch the space, I guess. Yeah. My mind goes to Neil Danaher, who's been fighting the fucker for 12 years, and the big
Carl Webb also had this as well.
Passed away from it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's rough.
I'm talking about the Cowboys because they're actually not looking. Yeah, not looking too bad, are they? The Cowboys.
Of course, missing a few guys for Origin from out of this one, but they who's playing half for them at the moment? Clifford.
Yeah, they would have had Clifford, and did they move?
Liam Sutton.
6? I didn't see it.
Oh, it's got Sutton there.
Sutton.
It's got Sutton up
Liam
there.
Sutton. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Who's scorers in this, Jimmy?
Labour, Marnie, Chester, Sutton, Lukey.
Clifford's been good for them going up there.
Yeah, that was his name was in the Origin chat.
Chat,
It's not the best sentence I've ever put together.
And what's
Still
that?
better than some of the stuff we spill.
Casey McGuire.
What's that for Johnston, by the way? Has he hit 230 yet? 224?
Yeah, he'd be in the 220s. He scored every game he's played this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think that's a recent record as well. I think I saw Kale Ero has had that record, but I think Johnston has scored every game he's played. I think he missed a couple through injury. Yeah, it must be because 212 was to equal the record, 213 was to break.
Yep.
He must be pushing 220.
Yep. What do you got there, Jimmy?
Low 220s.
NRL top try scores is all you need.
I know. This turns out to be harder than I thought it was going to be.
Alex Johnson tries, scored.
That's what I put in. It didn't give me an answer.
I reckon I can beat you.
Probably.
Oh,
It just keeps on telling me 212.
Yeah, stop using Bing, bro. Like, you get a decent browser.
225.
Oh,
225.
Smash
There
me.
you
To be fair, mine does say 213 as well.
go. It says 224 there, so that would have been 225.
There you go.
Updated. Not today. So, yeah,
Suppose so.
he's moving along.
250 loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you want a table? Because I've got it here.
Run through it. Well, I know who's two. Pendleton, I'm assuming is one.
Penrith 22 points in first. Warriors second, 20 points. Roosters third and 18. How about Manly? They're in the top four now. 16. Newcastle 16. Cowboys 16. South is seventh on 14. Ahead of Dolphins,
logjam,
Sharks, Tigers, all 14. Then Brisbane 11th on 12. Raiders and Dogs, Eels, they're all 12, 13, 14 on 10. Melbourne Storm 8. Gold Coast, Titans 6. And the relegated team, that's it. That's just 16 team comp.
Well,
That's it.
it's interesting because outside of the Eels, Titans, and Dragons, any of those teams could make the top 8. Like, talent-wise. Like, I look at those teams, like even Melbourne's down there.
Yeah, I could.
But they could just have a run. And
yeah, I
make
could
it.
see Melbourne. Still
But
play.
same with like
Still playing
Brisbane,
finals.
Canberra, like
I
all
have-
those guys outside.
I have
the
serious
8.
concerns about the Tigers with how banged up they are.
But if they can get healthy, again, they're been a decent squad and they could make a run. So,
Yeah.
like that,
But if
that's,
Dewey's
I
not
think
back
it's
for a
interesting.
month, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But starting 17, like healthy guys.
Yeah, how good
Yeah,
were they?
I can see. Yeah,
They were
those
second after a month of footy, weren't
yeah,
they?
those teams outside of those three I mentioned, like all those others could still have a run and go deep. I think there's a few teams probably playing a bit overs at the moment, like the Knights, but they've been good.
Anything else on league? No, Origin. Go
I was
Blues.
going to ask, what's the lowest Melbourne Storm have been on the ladder
At the end of a season,
at the end of the
End
season?
of the season.
they've only missed finals.
Like, if they've got a spoon,
Mm-mm.
didn't they get a spoon like year one or year
an
two?
asterisk one, maybe. Like when they've been stripped.
No,
because of
I was
cheating.
in
That's
the
what I'm trying to
naughty
figure
in
out.
the 90s when
they made the grand
started.
final the second year.
Maybe. Yeah.
Lowest finish under normal circumstances, 10th
Yeah,
in
they've-
2002.
There you go.
And they've
Normal
missed.
seconds.
I'm pretty sure they missed the finals twice or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
True.
It is crazy, yeah.
You want me to? I want to actually go down the rabbit hole. List of,
2000,
Open the can of worms.
2010 was
Melbourne
the only
finishes.
time they came last, which was when they got it stripped.
yeah, I think outside of the
Okay.
outside of the asterisk ones.
So lost semi-final.
Yeah, that first year, I forgot that they
Yeah.
made the semi-final their first year. They come third on the ladder, and then they
And they
won the
won
comp in their
it.
second
lost
year.
qualifying.
Yeah.
Disqualified.
But there's that.
What was those?
Did not qualify.
Did not qualify.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So 2001, 2002, they missed the finals. They finished 9th and 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And then check out this crazy run 5, 6, 6.
Semis.
But lots of asterisks. So this year here, where it's listed as a spoon, is not really a spoon. Yeah. So when they didn't get busted cheating, they've been crazy. And look at this run. So the lowest they've finished in the last 12 years is 6th in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
And they haven't missed the top 4 many times in that run either.
Yeah. Well, they've been also the runners-up the last 2 years in a row too.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a
From-
big fall.
From 2011 on, like after all the salary cap shit,
Yep.
like it's a crazy run.
Yeah.
Anyways, maybe they get the spoon this year. Dragons come 16th. All right, let's.
That'd mean the Dragons have to win at least 3 games, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Let's talk some Aussie rules footy, which is red, I think.
Yeah.
Had a few nice rounds for Sir Doug Nichols. The back-to-back Indigenous rounds in the AFL. We'll just do round 11
Latest round.
this weekend, which kicked off Thursday night with the Hawks beating the Crows down there in Tassie. Pretty cold, miserable conditions there in Launceston. Their stadium still half under construction. Don't know if that was great scheduling for that game being a primetime game.
Did you see the Hawks have been booted out of Tasmania going forward?
Yeah,
They've been
so-
told to find somewhere else to
Really?
play their games.
which is interesting because they got a fair contingent of fans now in Launceston. They've been doing those 3 games for a very long time. I think from what I could see of the state of that Utah stadium, they need a stadium somewhere, don't they? If they're going to have a team, and clearly the
Can you
first.
find
few
if
years.
they've actually broken ground on that?
No, I don't think they've done anything.
Yeah, because I thought they might have got approvals to start, but I just wondering if they had started.
Certainly being approved and actually getting the thing rolling.
That's my
Two
question.
different
Like,
stories.
yeah, have they broken ground versus got approval?
It's not happening till the 20th. They're not playing a game in a finished stadium before
No,
the
no.
2030s, I don't reckon.
Yeah, not for ages.
They won this one.
Mhm.
Blake Hardwood played forward. He kicked four in the absence of Jack Gunston. They're looking pretty good. The Hawks they lost the D's week before, but otherwise playing pretty good footy. And then the dream time at the G. This is great, and you love this about the AFL. 78,000 in there to watch 17th versus 18th. And you poor Bombers, Monks.
Couldn't get it done.
No, second win for the Tigers. Jaden Short, Tim Torino, probably some of their best, and outside of losing to the other team that you could potentially beat in the AFL, absolutely horror night in terms of injuries. So skipper Andrew McGrath breaks his jaw, ends up in hospital. I think Sam Durham, his concussion was in like the first 2 minutes. Guelphy done a hammy. Really concerning signs. And then on top of that, because they didn't kick straight and probably had opportunities to win, as they were going out, I was seeing a video of them going down the race, of all the fans dropping their scarves on the plate, like they were like throwing in the towel, like
That's fucked.
yeah,
It's hard.
like real bad optics, real bad. Their top end's still killing it. Like I think if you,
Are they last?
yeah, I think
With
that
the Blues
now, I
wins?
think now,
They
they are.
should be.
Yeah,
They would be now. Yeah.
Yeah.
because they're because Tigers, that's their second win. So Bombers were the only team left with one win. Their top end guys still killing it. I think Merritt and Perkins, was it, or Parrish?
You got Parrish there with 41
Yeah.
disposals, 9 clearances.
Yeah, there you go. I need to read my own notes. Like their hiring guys are still ball magnets, getting heaps of it, but
Yeah. Just can't turn into points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not good.
They're going to have a new coach next week?
It's got to be close, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah, I think
It has to be very close.
you think if you go back to that conversation about teams sacking coaches and outside of the Dragons,
It's been good for everyone else.
it's been good for everyone else. Blues win 2 in a row.
Kieran
so-
Foran, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The problem with Dragons is they sacked their coach, replaced their coach with the assistant
Assistant
defensive
coach,
coach,
Yeah,
and like they've had the worst defense in the league for the last 2 years. Like
we can't keep crying about the Dragons.
we
Yeah,
can.
but if we use the
Aren't we
Blues,
talking about AFL boys?
yeah, exactly. But if we use the Blues as a comparison,
Yeah, that's right.
it was the right kick in the bum that they obviously needed.
Yep.
And they've been able to get a couple of wins together against maybe some teams that have got a few injuries.
We'll take it, mate.
Yeah, but exactly, you will take it. But yeah, whether the Bombers need to do something similar.
I think you have to rip the band-aid off at some point, don't you? Like,
It's the middle of the season.
yeah.
It's like if you want to avoid the spoon.
Well, I mean, if they were going to do it, they should have done it last week, so they could have won this weekend.
True. Good point, Jimmy. Good point.
But no, something needs to change, I guess, and that's the obvious answer.
Yep.
Are up against West Coast.
Yeah, I was going to say, you actually have West Coast and then Carlton. So
Yep.
there's a few winnable games
Well,
there.
that's just the thing. Saki coach win too.
Carlton,
Guarantee it. Come on.
Carlton's
But
going on a
Khan's
run.
already,
We're
they
going on a
already
run.
sacked their
going on a
coach.
run,
How's that? Yeah, that work?
Yeah, but
No.
you get your one free one. So.
Before we get to the Blues,
Yeah.
let's cover a few of the
What
other
else
Saturday
are we-
games.
Fremantle take
Freo
down
flying, man.
St Kilda.
10 in a
Yeah.
row. I think that's the first time in club history for the Dockers.
What
So,
does that put them then? Are they 2?
yeah, 2. No, they're what?
4.
4.
Yeah,
Tied at the top.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Good chat.
Is that right?
We'll get to the
They're
what's the
one,
table?
dude. They're one. The indigenous,
Hang on.
the indigenous name is.
I was
is-
looking at Hawthorn. I was looking at the top of the list. Don't worry.
I'm like,
Forget
they're,
about me. I'm like, what?
Yes. We
they're
have
four,
confirmed.
they're 4 points clear.
We confirmed the Dockers.
Don't worry about
it. The number 1.
Buddy.
This guy. Yes. Light worker St Kilda here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see that Shea Bolton, Mark?
No, I haven't.
That's good. That's
good.
Yeah, I think
Shay gets up, so
it'll be a in the the top 3 that they have for the contenders for Mark of the Year. Yeah, Mark, see if you can bring it up.
yeah. 4 for Amos and was it 3 for Voss?
Yeah, 3 for Paddy Voss. They're flying. I think now it's
That home
That-
field advantage for them, like it's
Yeah.
it's always hard going out west.
and then conversely, in September, we know how much the outside of Melbourne teams struggle winning in Melbourne in September. But I think that's where we're getting to now in terms of how far can Flagmantle go.
Yep.
North had a big comeback yesterday.
Yeah, huge.
Against the Suns. Bring out that mark, Monks. It's good. 40-odd points, I think that was what they overcome.
Gets up there.
Yeah. Went for a ride. Straight in front as well. Who'd he go? He's on Rowan Marshall. That's a lot. That's a big man to jump on his back. Yeah. Good mark. Yeah, I think North. I think I saw.
North's finally turning the corner.
Hey?
Are they North? So they're finally turning the corner. Do you think
I'd say
they're out of the cellar dwellers?
like they're not good, but they're not shit.
Yeah, so they're out of the cellar dwellers.
Yep.
Like they're,
well and truly.
Yeah.
Like
Playing-
well and truly.
Playing finals.
Well,
No,
with this 10, with this 10
team,
team,
okay.
I could see
Maybe
they
the
could sneak in 9-10.
Yeah.
Yep.
exciting for North.
Yeah, they've got a good young list. I don't think there's
You
any.
would hope so, picking first every year.
Yeah, I think they're back. I think having excellent coach probably had
Yeah, that
something,
does help.
something to do
It
with
does
it.
help.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
just a
going
little
back
bit.
to the coaching chats that we've had
Mhm.
for our shit clubs.
Yep.
Are the Suns playing a bit unders? Are they? a bit
Yeah,
banged
they
up?
have been unders. That I think when people had them and
winning the comp.
Sydney, Brisbane was kind of the pre-season
Yep.
sort of speculation as to who would be the best few teams in the comp. I think Suns have been unders.
Have they followed that similar trend? They're good at home and terrible away.
Ooh, good question. They got run down their away.
Away,
so,
yeah.
Have you got home and away there can you find that for Gold Coast? Yeah, that is a good question. Can't say I'm watching Suns week in, week out.
No, neither.
Geelong, they beat Sydney. They
Geelong at home.
good on their day.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they couldn't be playing in a prelim final game this year.
Geelong is always good.
Water's wet. Max Holmes, 35 for him. Jeremy Cameron being that high possession forward, kicking 3 goals and getting 21 himself.
I think Kerner has been a bit unders for Sydney.
Yep.
Hasn't been a great buy for them so far.
I think so far, looks like Carlton have done well out of that trade. Yeah. The Sydney boys that have come across in Hayward and Florent haven't been too bad at all. And then we'll see how we can capitalise on draft picks. You got to wait and see how good they can be. But I think so far so good in the Kerner trade.
Did you get the Suns?
Yes. Yeah. So home record 5-1, away record 4-1. Yeah. 1-4.
1-4-4. Yeah.
Yep.
Classic.
You're gonna have to learn how to win in Victoria.
Win anywhere that is in the Gold Coast.
Well, they can clearly do it in South East Queensland, can't they?
Yeah, true.
A team that knows how to win in Victoria, Collingwood.
Yes.
The big
Pies.
milestone, the talking point of the last month in the AFL was the record game, the gold numbers on the back, all the merchandise, 90,000 in at the G. I think it was the highest home and away crowd for a Melbourne versus non-Melbourne team.
Right.
Yes, a lot of people wanted
Especially for West Coast. as well.
Yeah.
Like they're not a premier, like flying high in the, like
Not on the ladder.
It's not a top tier game.
Although you watch a Optus game when West Coast are at home, they still get 40, 45,000 at home.
Yeah.
Obviously a big club, but it's not like they had this game against one of the other big Melbourne teams.
It's not Pies versus Geelong or something like that, or Lions, for example, like a top of the ladder competition. But yeah, Dacos good.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't get hurt, he wins Brownlow.
With the way they've changed stats and things.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I know he had a bit of clickbait on Matt Rowell last year and saying that was the right call, but I was still pretty happy to drag my feet and say I don't think Matt Rowell was the best player in the comp last year. But anyway,
No, great. That was my point.
And we just checked. Yeah, so Jamie Elliott unfortunately had that hyperextension mechanism coming down from a mark. There was a little bit of a melee afterwards. I didn't think there was too much in it, contesting, and sometimes that's just footy.
Just the way you land.
Yeah, yep. I was actually at a club function last night for local footy and being the local physio. And they're like, what's going on here? Blah, blah, blah. Has he done his ACL? And never looks good, does it, when you're getting stretched off like that?
Yeah.
It's probably not the textbook mechanism though, the hyperextension. You can sometimes have your fingers and everything crossed that, you come away and there's some bone bruising or, another ligament, but not the ACL, as opposed to, say, Tanner Boyd, where you're watching that pivot shift and the
is it the typical the rotation or the
deceleration and the fact that his foot is way out from under his hips,
outside his shoulders.
And then whenever you see that slow mo of the front on, and you can actually see his tibia going forward, and then it snaps back, and you see the calf ripple.
Yeah,
much like Carlos Ulberg, a few weeks ago, when we were going, is that an Achilles? That as well is not classic with the step back, but to the step to the side, and then seeing that shin go forward, and then the snap up the calf. That's sort of pretty textbook. And having said that, a hyperextension like that when they can't get up by themselves,
not good signs.
Yeah, that's hoping for the best and expecting the worst. It's a shame because he's been unreal, particularly the last season and a half for them, and it's pretty nice to see in such a big game in terms of AFL history and, Pendlebury and all the hoopla that's gone on, every single one of those boys getting straight to him in the sheds. That was their number one priority, getting in there rather than celebrating the win first up. So, again, it's probably speaks volumes to the culture of that club. But, yes, Pendlebury 4-3-3 is finally done. Feels like it's been brewing for a long time in terms of media beat up. Now the question is...
Yeah, how far could he push it?
I think 450 minimum. I think if he goes, so say he finishes this year and
that's another
and
10,
next, I think he'll go again next year. Yeah. So that's 20 odd plus another 10, so 30, maybe 470. Realistically,
got an age there, Jimmy?
He's 38.
38.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be not many 40-year-olds playing AFL. That's for sure.
Yeah, Dustin Fletcher did it back in the day. Very different positionally, big key defender at Essendon. He must have had an injury or two, I suppose. Or I suppose maybe they had a game or two less.
Did you see Harley Reid?
He's putting him on his ass.
Going back to the chat about old fellas and young fellas. It was like,
it wasn't a great start for him. A little bit of humble pie to start off the game, but he would have had the last laugh over Harley and with the result at the end.
Always take the win.
I think everyone in Australia as well wouldn't have minded seeing a West Coast upset. Spoil the Collingwood party there.
Definitely against the Pies, 100%.
But look, as even as a Blues fan and watching what he's done and how he's gone about things over the last 20 seasons, he's older than
no shit.
It's crazy. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So Dustin Fletcher, as Afa mentioned, got to go back to Vic Cumberland. That's a good find there, Mark. 1920, 43-year-old Vic Cumberland is the oldest guy to ever strap up the boots.
He doesn't even make the top 7 currently.
It's interesting, actually, that a lot of them are recent players. So Boomer Harvey, Craig Bradley, Sean Burgoyne, all in the 2000s. Michael Tuck, they're in the 90s. And a lot of them are the 400 gamers as well. Yeah. So 38.
Danger's still there.
Zorko and Danger.
That's the next 2.
They got Tex there, which reminds me because he didn't play. He's coming back from injury. He played in the Sandfall of the weekend. You see the hanger that he took and he kicked 5 and was just playing with his food. I think he's ready to come back next week for the Crom. But yeah, look up. Part of me is also happy that all the media beat up's done now as well, and sort of get on with things.
Go back to hating on the Pies and seeing how the Blues are doing.
It's a good little segue, isn't it, to the arch enemies.
Blue Baggers, tell me about it.
It's probably the best game they've played this year. They played 4 quarters.
Yep. Beat Adelaide team in Adelaide.
Yeah, well, that hadn't happened for 10 years. They'd won it against Freo at Gather Round a couple of years ago. So they had won at the Adelaide Oval, was the caveat to that stat. But to actually beat an Adelaide team in Adelaide, I think you've got to go back 11 years since that has happened. And the midfield looked really good. It's nice to see Jagger Smith coming into his own and listening to him post-match. The bloke's 20. He sounds like he's a 35-year-old college graduate, the way that he's been media trained and rizzing up the comms. And he's going to have a long career ahead of him. And Cripps and Walsh, they were all getting plenty of it. And they played well. Yep. It was nice to see.
Cover the point. Voss did step down after the Lions game.
So not sacked, stepped down. Fell on sword.
Mutual probably was going to get stabbed at some point. Not a Melbourne joke, but so it was good. And from that, who's the interim at the moment?
Josh Fraser.
Josh Fraser?
Yeah, so Collingwood guy was a ruck. He's actually I thought this is a weird stat, but interesting stat. First number 1 overall draft pick to ever coach.
Oh, there you
This
go.
is the 1999 number 1 draft pick. And he played 200 odd games at Collingwood and actually finished up at the Suns for a season or two there. But apparently has said that he doesn't want the job next year.
Interesting. Because that's interesting. Because he's on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, 2-0, mate.
2-0.
Sure? Don't you want to reconsider?
Yeah, beat up a dragon. Not dragons. Everyone's beat up.
Leave it in your head, bro.
A dogs team. Well, it
Yeah,
starts with a D. Getting
They're pretty banged up.
yeah, pretty banged up. And then, but beating Port Adelaide in a complete game, I think, is a good showing and a good way forward. And then they got a decent run over the next couple of games.
Yeah, they play Geelong next week, so I don't know about that.
No.
But after that, I think they go Essendon West Coast,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And the Giants are in there as well. After watching them today, I don't know if that's going to be an easy game. But look, certainly a few winnable games. I still think finals would be a massive ask. But
Yeah.
things are looking a whole lot better than they were 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh, definitely. It seems like there was the right decision in the end. And they'll just have to hopefully make a right decision about who the guy is going forward.
We got the Adam Simpson as he's come out and said that he's
Yeah, he was on commentary probably for that West Coast game. And they asked him, he was like, yeah, I'm not interested. I'm not going to put my hand up for that.
Yep.
I
He would
think
have
it's
to-
more of like out of a respect for Voss in that position. There was some quotes and some his reasoning why. I do remember the word respect was used, but yeah, it was interesting that Adam, because he was one of the key favourites, I think, as like one of the
won a flag.
yeah, as a guy that would approve over a guy other coaching is just like he's a guy that has actually won it, so
Yeah, it's got some
it
pretty good
would have
credentials.
been at the top of the list for a lot of clubs. So it's interesting to see that he ruled himself out.
Yeah, obviously for 2026, he would have to relinquish those media commitments, and
Yeah.
it probably didn't make sense here. I'm interested.
Well, it wasn't going to. I don't think it was ever going to be this season. It was more or less like I'll
Next
sign
year.
for next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But didn't seem to be interested. Do you have a quote? Any quotes there, Jimmy?
The article does say Adam
Yeah.
Simpson has ruled himself out of the Carlton coaching race.
Doesn't feel right. Is probably the main point there.
I feel like he gave a reason for that, but
because he was mentoring Vossi
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well. So I guess
I think he had a connection there with Voss, so he wasn't just going to come in and steal his thunder essentially.
no, yeah. Well, I suppose that's it. Like for Vossi to go out, I guess based on that performance, and if Simpson's sort of mentoring him through that, it's like
And I guess it's okay at the moment. Like they don't have any competition for head coaches currently until probably the Bombers sack theirs. So they're in no rush currently.
yeah. So you have some names there.
Daniel Pratt from the Bulldogs, Corey Enright, James Rahili. What's it? John Longmire made a comment. John Longmire made
yeah.
appeal to the Carlton
It's not as simple
if
as
the club wants a proven, experienced senior coach, but obviously he hasn't said anything.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind Horse.
Yep.
Obviously, we know how grand finals have gone for him, but
Getting to one it would be a good thing for a coach fan.
Sydney were never bad under John Longmire.
Exactly.
First step, you need to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think if you're a Blues fan, you'd want, if you're going to sack your head coach or let your head coach go, you'd want to see an improvement.
You want to bring an upgrade, right?
Yeah, exactly. You want to upgrade. And you see where some of those other clubs have gone and they've gone out and got guys that have, the credentials that have, won flags in their on their resumes. That's what you think you'd be looking for. So someone that been there, done that, and knows how to build that club and put it together.
Not go to a junior.
Yeah.
Well, there seems to be a bit of a trend in going a bit younger. If you look at some of the appointments over the last, 3 or 4 years with, Josh Carr coming through and Sam Mitchell's not, that Adam Usyk, like they're all sort of 40s kind of guys.
Yeah, but how many flags are there?
Rather than late 60s. Well, you can't do it in 2 years, can you? Unless, Melbourne Storm, shout out to them and back in 99, but different crossing codes again. But I think there is a little bit of a trend in going a bit younger.
Yeah. But to me, that's I don't want to say unproven guys, but that is kind of you're going for the upstart to hopefully may potentially turn them into a dynasty type coach. Like,
Yeah, how much of it is the system in the club anyway, as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Like Sam Mitchell
There's a
go,
lot of
go and fine at
variables.
Hawthorn, whereas Usyk comes into a pretty hard predicament at
Yep.
Richmond and hasn't been able to turn it around.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, Usyk might be liking I'm comparing his age to Sam Mitchell because he might be close to 10 years older than him. But anyways, he's not a fossil, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do we got left? Oh, we got to talk about Brisbane.
Bro, what? I don't know what happened.
It was a close halftime score, and
I was
then-
getting some text messages, I think, when they were about six goals in a row in the third quarter. I was like, I'll flick this on. And then it was just like bang, bang, bang. It was like, it looked like.
What did it end up being? I think it was 14-2
14.
to 03. I think it ended up being full quarter.
The
So it was the
most-
highest scoring third
Yeah.
quarter in VFL, AFL history,
History. Yep.
which is wild.
Crazy.
And there's also, it's wild that there's been some highs. I was having a look. There
Yeah.
was one South Melbourne in the fourth quarter, I think kicked 17 like, pre-World War II days. And might have pushed 100 points in a quarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it has in maths, actually. 15. So that must be 100 points. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 166. I think that for
High-
GWS was their highest score ever.
I think
as
their
well?
highest score ever and the highest score by any club this year.
Yeah.
So couldn't tell you what happened to the Lions. It's not like they had a bunch of injury.
You had the Fagan comment.
Fagan.
There you go. Comment.
Pass him by.
Yeah, I was getting there. Fagan comment earlier where he's just like, well, we tried everything and it just didn't work. So I don't know. The Lions have kind of been a little bit up and down this year. I know Jared Berry he should be back next week.
He didn't
Been
play
out.
today, did
He
he?
didn't play today, so but most likely I'll roll straight back into the squad after that performance. But I don't know, when you're not on your day, then you just lose all that momentum. And
Yeah, momentum's
got put
footy
to the
is
sword.
weird for momentum. Like
Yeah.
it can certainly happen. It is weird at an AFL
Oh, yeah,
level with
a
a
couple-
defending two-time,
Mhm.
like
It's kind of thing like a couple leads to a couple more, and then when you get to
like
like
fucking 14.
they've scored 7 or 8, and then it's just that's the floodgates.
Yeah.
So then that's why I put double that on. So yeah, it is very interesting. But the Lions,
To be fair to the Giants, they were clinical. Like winning clearance after clearance after clearance can certainly happen. You see teams get ahead in the clearance game, but to actually make use of every one of your entry,
Yep.
and a lot of it was just kick to hands, mark goal.
yeah.
You know, Toby Green and Jake Stringer.
Mhm. How many
Um,
Toby end up with?
They had 5 each.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they had 5 each, but then they must have had 10 multiple goal
Mhm.
scorers. Bring that up because the amount of guys that had 3 or 2 was extensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the stats to see if Jared had played or not, and I'm just going down. I was like, well, the first 10 dudes were all
So here you go. So
GWS.
5 each for Stringer and Green, 3 each for Krzyzewski and Cadman, and then Riccardi, Gothard, Daniels, Brown, all 2 apiece there. So how many multiple goal scorers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 8 with multiple goals.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Ran all over him.
Yeah. Worrying signs there for Lions fans. And the Giants, you know, on their day, they could get the Orange Tsunami going and do it against anyone.
Yeah, they've been a bit unders this year, haven't they?
Up and
so
up
far?
and
Yeah,
down.
like up
Yeah,
and down. So
yeah.
yeah, hopefully get some more consistency. It's probably a big win for them, especially at home.
It kind of is interesting with this wild card shit. I know a lot of the traditionalists aren't loving it.
Do you want
but
to bring up a table?
Yeah, I think that's 7 through 10.
Yeah,
Like,
because we only got one more game left.
There's a
and-
whole-
and it was the Dogs did beat the
D's
D's, and the
just.
D's have been on a run themselves.
when
like
you talk
for
about
a
hot and
while.
cold, there
Yeah.
they can beat anyone on their day too, but
Yeah.
they can be pretty ordinary as well.
Mhm.
Obviously that's just happened. None of us have seen any of that.
Yeah,
the
It's
dogs,
close, 93 to 90, I think that.
yeah, Dogs win by 3.
So
Uh,
at the top, Jimmy, if you go to the top, please.
There you go.
Like
So
the Dockers, as we talked about.
yeah, so Freo outright first, 40 points. Swans 36.
Mhm.
Geelong third with 32. Hawthorn 4 on 30. Saying the Suns are a bit unders. They're still fifth.
They're still fifth.
They're still fifth. 28. Melbourne, they're still in that top six.
Six. Yeah.
28. And then a bit of logjam. So Adelaide, Brisbane, Bulldogs, 7, 8, 9, all on 24. And then Collingwood, 22, outright 10th. And then St Kilda, GWS, North Melbourne, all on 20. And then a little drop down to Port, Carlton and West Coast on 12 apiece.
So the difference I see in this
8 for Richmond, 4 for Essendon.
the difference I see in this between, say, what I was saying with the NRL is out of those from 11 to 18, I only feel like the Giants have the talent to push up into that top 10.
You don't think, St Kilda could do it? You don't think North Melbourne could do it?
I don't think St Kilda, I don't think St Kilda's dangerous enough. I'm interested in North Melbourne because we talked about it before.
Look, St Kilda's percentage is 108.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't think. Out of the guys,
Just don't think.
Yes, true. That is
There's 2 points out of it. You're putting a line through them?
No, I'm not putting a line through them. I just don't think their list compared to the guys in the top 10 lists are as nice. I'm thinking the Giants are probably the only one that I like from a name value of the teams. And I do like as we talked about, Melbourne's younger core, but they've gone on a bit of a losing streak before they got that win. So, yeah. It's interesting.
I think St Kilda, with the way that they recruited in the off season, there's no reason why they can't bust into that 7 through 10 sort of range, and same thing with North. And so the believer in me thinks that Carlton could maybe
go on. Hawks. Keep going now. Hawks.
We're looking at St Kilda's run.
Both St Kilda and North at the same time.
Yeah, the
North's got a hard run, so they play.
St Kilda's got a hard run as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we'll see it even out a little bit.
They do play Giants. That'll be a big game there. Keep going now. West Bulldogs will be a big game.
North by mid-June. Look at that run. Go scroll back up there for us.
Yeah, North I think has a better run than St Kilda does.
Yep.
Looking at that list.
Where were we?
Because they get West Coast. Because St Kilda gets Sydney Giants and what was it after that? Bulldogs. Whereas so North to get Richmond and West Coast.
And Port after that as well.
Yeah.
I reckon North could definitely do it.
Based on who they're playing, yes. I just don't think they're as dangerous. Yes, they'll beat the bottom tier teams. I'm just not sure they will compete when they make the top 10.
Mate, it's a long season.
It is a long season. Long season.
And bye round start next week. So the first lot to get a rest are Suns, Crows, Kangaroos, Power.
Yep.
That concludes the double Sir Doug Nichols rounds. Some good jerseys getting around. Good Guernseys.
Mm-hmm.
As always in the Indigenous rounds. And we're sort of approaching that halfway point of the AFL season.
Yep.
Let's talk some basketball.
Yes.
Green.
Sure. Yes.
Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang!
Did you want to start off with MVP?
Yeah, we could.
So you were of the opinion that you think the guy that led the league in boards and assists should maybe be considered for his fourth MVP?
Joker doesn't get any love. So
Joker fatigue.
Joker fatigue, considering last season was better than any of his MVP seasons and this season was better than last season. So I'll put that out there. Statistically. And, I think we've talked in the past about MVPs, best player on best team. And I think this MVP kind of clearly shows that because, SGA is by far the best player on OKC and they were by far the best team this year. So is
that a bad metric in the best player on best team?
Yeah, considering it's the most valuable player.
So
who added
pretty reasonable.
Yeah, pretty reasonable.
He's also second in points per game.
Yeah, but I also think of who potentially carried their team further as well because he's got a good team around him. So, who's the most valuable to their team? A bit of that comes into that. But I did see the conversation about what stat category did he lead because of course he was leading point scorer last year, so that made a lot of sense. This year he finished second to Luka, and then Joker had a bunch, and then Wembley had the others. So,
I think if you look at total points, he would have led it because Luka missed more time.
Yes.
So obviously the way that they do it is points per game.
Yeah, points per game. Yeah.
So if you went total points, he would have led that.
Yep. Yeah. I
don't mind it.
I don't mind it because Wemby's probably going to win the next 10, so we can take it as it is. And yeah.
Do you think SGA's style comes into it?
I think there's definitely a conversation, and we might talk about when we get to the Spurs because there's been a lot of talk about the flopping, especially with their shot selection or shot technique. Like if you watch SGA and the way he always shoots, he always collapses when he lands.
Yep.
Like he never lands on his feet. He always lands in a collapse.
He hits the floor on 25% of his shots.
Yeah. So there's definitely been some conversation about that. I know Spurs fans were chanting flopper during the game, game 3. So yeah, there is a bit of that. I think there's probably a bit of that rhetoric.
I think it's kind of funny in that it's like, oh, Steph Curry ruined basketball. Like the mid-range jumper's gone. All we do is set up teams to play threes. We don't have high-scoring point guards anymore. Then you have a high-scoring point guard that shoots mid-range jumpers and goes to the line a lot.
But he gets too many free throws.
Yeah, fuck him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's a free throw merchant.
Yeah.
And he can't be the MVP.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Curry changed the game. He actually, there's a bit of talent in throwing threes versus getting.
so the most valuable player in the NBA is talentless. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm not saying he's talentless. I'm just saying it's cooler to throw a 3-point than get a free throw.
I think it's less exciting for fans the way that SJ plays.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
I definitely think there's a thing to that.
he's not going to go and posterize and leap over guys and dunk on you, and then he's not going to drill threes like Steph.
Yep.
He's going to work to mid range and get to the line.
Yeah, and I don't think someone like Joker as a comparison is as flashy because he does all the gritty, dirty work.
Absolutely not as flashy.
Yeah,
No.
so he gets all the stats for all the gritty work that he does, but it's not something you can sell on highlights very easily. So, he's got his MVPs. I think it's interesting. Like I said, Wembley's probably going to win a bunch going forward. So
yeah, we'll get to them in a second. Thanks, Monks. The head-to-head there on the season. So 68 games played for SGA, 65 for Joker. Interesting as well, 3-0 for Thunder versus Nuggets. Again, SGA is only the one player on that team. But then everything else pretty much you can't compare. Obviously, Joker is a statistical freak.
yes,
13 boards a game, nearly 11 assists.
average triple-double.
Yeah. It's wild. Wild. And still shoots at 57% from the field and 38 from 3-point for a big man. Pretty insane numbers for the big Serb.
Okay.
As they always are.
As they always are. But yeah. It's also interesting. Was Embiid the last time a Yank won it? And how long ago was that? That was
They even got him with because he's like
a Cameroon.
Yeah, Cameroon. Yeah. He is an American. But yeah, we've had this run now of SGA, Joker, Giannis, I think. Yeah. Was Embiid after Giannis?
No, I think Embiid was in the middle of Joker there at some point.
So yeah, but
You
in
can get a
terms of
list of
the last say 7 years, I think Embiid's the only American.
Scroll right down.
Yeah. So
No, the Embiid they listed him as Cameroon.
Wiki.
Wiki could do that. Yeah, true.
Like he's played for America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you go all the way back to James.
Got to go back to Harden.
Yeah. And I'm predicting another 10 for Wemby coming up.
Giannis went back to back in 18-19 and 19-20.
Yep.
And then you go on Joker, Embiid, Joker, Shea.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. And then before that, Nowitzki. There's a little run there in the 2000s with back-to-back Steve Nash into Dirk Nowitzki. But yeah, obviously a very American dominated. Hakeem the Dream in the early 90s. I think it'll all be US flags before 1990.
Wilt and Bill Russell there.
It speaks volumes to where the league's at now. It is an international league. I don't mind SGA getting the MVP. Sean's not convinced. Let us know in the comments who you thought was the most valuable player in the NBA this year, and let's talk some playoffs.
Yeah, go through these. How do we get to the conference final?
Yeah, so going back, Cavs and Pistons. This one went to Game 7, and it was interesting because we had a few go the distance in the first 2 rounds, and then it's become a little bit more one-sided in some of them. The Knicks went straight through the Sixers, so 4-0. We were looking at them before. They're 10 games in a row, time of recording, so obviously 3-0 at the moment in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they had those 2 losses back to the Hawks back in the first round. But since then, they've strung 10 in a row. So swept Sixers and likely going to sweep the Cavs. But yeah, time of recording, Sunday night here in Australia. New York leads the Cavs 3-0. They are 1 win away from going to the finals. It would be their first finals appearance since 1999.
Yep.
And interestingly, Jalen Brunson's dad on that team back in 1999,
And losing to the Spurs.
Yeah, imagine that. Could be,
Led by Tim Duncan.
could be Spurs and Knicks.
Yes.
What do you reckon? The East that's pretty much curtains, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't see the Cavs
They maybe
coming.
maybe they get a
force
game.
Yeah, they might get a game, but I don't see them winning 4 on the drive.
It's nearly impossible once you're down 3-0.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's fun.
Yeah.
It's good for basketball, I think. Like, we spoke about the Pacers last year and the small market teams.
Yeah.
It's good to have a sleeping giant, you know.
Well, the Knicks have been thereabouts for the last couple
last
of
few
years.
years.
So,
Yeah. I think the cat trade was obviously, it's proved to be the right thing. Jalen Brunson has turned into one of the best point guards in the NBA. They haven't been super duper reliant on him. Like, they've been getting good minutes out of Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges.
Yep.
So yeah, they're all but booked their ticket for the finals, and probably in terms of looking at the playoffs and the conference finals, we've got to go over to the West and chat a bit more about the West.
Yeah, we've talked about, well, if we go back to the level of competition in the East, and you think, number one, the Pistons get bounced out by the Cavs with a 4th seed. Like,
Oh, you're up.
I guess the name value in the teams has always been on the West.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, OKC gets through the Lakers. Lakers kind of banged up, as you will, through that series. OKC was too good. And then Spurs get through Minnesota to get through Ant-Man to get to this series where they're now down 2-1 against OKC and Spurs.
It makes you wonder, had Minnesota been fully healthy, could they have pushed the Spurs a little bit more? Obviously had that horrific injury for Dante DiVincenzo, rupturing his Achilles, and then Anthony Edwards probably not his best after that knee hyperextension.
Yeah.
Interestingly as well, how it's impossible to get suspended in the NBA because that spinning elbow would have looked good in the octagon, but it's probably not the best looking.
Yeah, I think when you talk, you said it best. Is like if it had landed flush, because it kind of landed sort of on the shoulder.
It was a bit grazed. Yeah.
But if it landed on the chin,
you break someone's jaw doing that.
Oh, exactly.
Well,
way worse.
Andrew McGrath on Friday night. That's to me it looked incidental, but essentially copped a stray elbow at speed, and that's what broke his jaw.
Yeah.
So Wemby got to get that out of his game.
Yeah. Level-headed, young player.
Yeah.
Feisty.
And then on the other side, the Lakers, it was always going to be a tough ask, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit banged up. So. And getting the sweep there. They swept the first 2. So I think we had to go back to the 2017 Warriors before we've seen a team sweep the first 2 rounds. Yeah.
Wow.
Think LeBron goes around again?
Yep. I think so.
At the Lakers?
Yes, I think so. No, that's my call. This is because this has been I've been looking at this the last few years, and each year I'm like, that's his last game. That's his last game. And now I'm like, I don't know.
They've got a good, decent team. A good nucleus. Like, he's not relied on as much in that space. And he played really well.
He looks fine
in his playoff series.
The only difference this year was like he looked human from an injury perspective, like with the sciatica at the start of the year, and a little bit of soft tissue niggle, this and that. Like probably not as used to him missing so much time, but when he's healthy and on, he's still a top 12 player in the NBA. Like
LeBron at 90% is still better than most guys gone around.
So. Yeah, dude. Yeah. He's we can leave the GOAT chat out of this one, but I think he will go again. It's going to be much like the last 2 seasons, I think, where we're probably not going to know until sort of middle of their summer.
Yep.
And then probably have some announcement, some stupid fucking
because I remember
whiskey or something.
That was the start. I remember the start of the year. Like, there was a big announcement, and everyone started buying Lakers tickets. Prices went through the roof.
Yeah,
but it was a whiskey deal, and not his. Like, I'm retiring. This is my last year.
Once he turns 42 in December, is that correct?
It is interesting with all the leagues we follow. But how more guys in their 40s are going deeper, playing longer careers. So
that probably just speaks volumes to where sports medicine, recovery, nutrition, famously spends $1 million a year on his body.
Yep. I guess it's not as high contact as some of the other football
sports,
but the
repetition,
man.
You
you
still think on the
heavy
knees,
dude.
like
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Big dude on-
tall dude.
and-
260, I think he's maybe he's 250
All the
walking
jumping.
around. Like that's a
he is
lot
a
of-
physical freak. Like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
not forget this
6'9",
fact.
250.
what
He's
he's listed at.
41 years old.
41, so turns 42 in
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah.
your space. Yeah, we probably won't know for a few months.
How do we see the Spurs OKC series playing out?
Well, I'm sure the Knicks fans will want them to
Play
beat the
7.
shit out of each other and play 7, which is kind of what we've seen a little bit. It's been quite physical.
Mhm.
Yeah, trying to get the Wemby matchup has obviously been the biggest question.
Oh, yeah.
For the Thunder, they've had multiple guys go to him. Chet hasn't really looked up to it defensively. Hartenstein's not a bad option, like just a big sort of strong sort of traditional center. It's not going to get heaps at the offensive side, but can maybe match it with him physically, defensively. But they've done everything. They had Caruso on him for a little bit in game 2. That was the one where he went. I know it was game 1 where he went.
Game 1, he went ham.
went
Yeah,
ham.
we had the 41 and 24.
With 9 offensive boards.
Yeah.
And yeah, they went to double overtime and he got it done. But he can't do that every night. Like that's,
Yeah, that's probably where OKC have got game 2 and 3 back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't.
their depth. And we're talking about their bench. Like they had double digits out of 4 guys on the bench in game 3. So
Yeah, they're a good basketball
definitely
team.
not something that the Spurs have. It's good for them to have some troops back. Getting Fox and Harper back.
Where they play game 4? Are we back?
They
That's
are
be Spurs again.
San Antonio. And
Yeah.
San
So it's
Antonio.
always 2 to the higher seeded team to start off with.
Yep.
And then 2 to the other.
Yep.
And then 1-1-1.
1-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember who started. So.
Yeah, always. I think it's always the higher ranked team is how that works. That just gives you the advantage. Like if you can go 2-0 at home, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's easy when you go on
Makes
the road.
sense.
yeah. But it's cool, like that they won that first game after the run the Thunder were on, and yeah, I think it just starts to swing sort of some belief that maybe the Knicks could get it done if they are swept and 4-0, and they're coming off a big physical
Yeah.
series.
Might have a week off while they wait for the series to happen.
And that's not always the best thing sometimes
exactly.
as well. I think
Keep
there's
the
there's
momentum.
probably a sweet spot, and maybe they're not overly concerned if they do drop a game. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because the whole season has been, who are the Thunder beating in the in the finals?
Yes.
It's kind of been
Well, the talk about whoever wins the series is de facto champion because they think they just walk through whoever comes out of the East. So
I wonder who the Knicks would rather play.
As in like style or
Yeah, style wise,
Possible.
I guess the question is, do they think they have someone that matches up get well against Wembley? Because
Cat's not really known as a big defensive mid.
Yeah. Because if they don't think
Big.
if they don't think they've got good coverage for Wemby, then they probably want OKC as we'll just play an out and out basketball game and just see who's the better team in the end.
It's so much on one guy though, isn't it?
And it is. We're talking about it. It's a 22-year-old that's going to dominate basketball
what was
for the
his
next
quote?
decade.
It was like, I need to learn how to make my teammates better or something.
Yeah,
around. Like, he
I'm
already
not
knows-
playing like I'm making my teammates better or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
It was sort of like, how do I make myself better? Kind of like introspective, but also like I know I'm.
Yeah.
This offense runs
yeah, I'm the
through me.
megastar. So
Yeah.
definitely there's that saying is like this guy raises all boats. So he's the megastar that comes along that makes everyone better because whether it's he's drawing more pressure and that and gives everyone else more freedom, whether he's that confidence is just overloading over everyone else. Because you see that game 1, like he just took over. Took over. You shoot that 3 from the logo to go to overtime. You're like, they're just going to win. That is, you can see the storylines being written, the scripts in, and yeah, I'd like to see them come back, but it's going to be a tough ask against OKC.
You like to see the
The
Spurs?
Spurs, take this deep and hopefully jag it and win.
My feeling it won't be the last time that we see them. So
No,
if
no.
they do miss out, they miss out.
Yeah, if they get bounced out, they've got guys coming back and a few moves here and there and create some dynasty of their
Yep.
own.
Got to give Stephen Castle
he's
his
been
props as well. He was just having a look, third year now in the league, and definitely has made that step from sort of, sophomore into, handy, or maybe better than handy starter,
yeah,
starter in the NBA.
He's been robbing to Wemby's Batman so far.
Anyways, watch this space. Knicks all but through, and then OKC have the 1-game lead, but the game tomorrow should be in San Antonio. So if they could level up, we could definitely see this one potentially go to 6 or 7.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk some EPL. Well, they've done it. Arsenal, they didn't bottle it. They won the league, even with a game to spare. So congratulations to all Gooners fans around the world. There's certainly a lot of Arsenal fans here in Australia. Had some pretty happy mates this week.
Oh, yeah.
That couldn't believe it. You know, we're mid-30s, so 22 years. You got to go back to sort of early teen years for a lot of blokes our age, and the Henri days and Arsene Wenger and how good they used to be for that period in the early 2000s. They've got it done, and then our eyes turn to Champions League and relegation overnight.
Yes.
So a whole lot of things are on the table. We've got to talk about Aston Villa winning Europa. So they get through Freiburg pretty handily. I think they won 3-0. But it also makes things super duper interesting because that means automatic qualification for the Champions League for next year.
Yep.
And as that sits, they are in fourth with Liverpool in fifth. So Liverpool's goal difference is better than Aston Villa. So if Aston Villa is to lose and Liverpool are to win, they would swap, which then is super interesting because it then gives Bournemouth the chance to qualify because you'll open up there'll be another spot there for an English team. So all kinds of things can happen overnight.
Who do Liverpool play? Did we check that?
Yeah, we were having a look before. Monks, can you just get the games up? Because I've got this thing. Oh, yeah, just there.
Yep.
They play Brentford. Bournemouth play Not Forest. And Villa play City.
Yep.
Fuck. So it certainly could happen.
Could happen.
Villa's already got qualified, so they don't have anything to play for.
Yeah.
Other than saying fuck you to Bournemouth. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting at the top. United as well. They booked their Champions League ticket last week. So weird for that to feel weird. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, perennially in the Champions League, and haven't been for a little while. So. United go back to play Champions League football.
Actually, back to City and Villa's game. City will obviously want to win to send Pep out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about it. So Pep done Manchester City. I might get some
retiring.
Some Pep. Yeah.
Well, the word, or is he?
I think he's got no plans left.
No plans. Okay.
He said.
Yeah, he's been there for a decade, hasn't he?
Won everything.
Won everything.
He's not as old as what you probably would think for a good. 55. Yeah, maybe.
It's a good retirement age.
It is. It'd be nice for us.
We're working till we're 80.
So 10 years on the dot.
Yeah. So Barca and Bayern Munich before that. It's a pretty handy run. There's only the only three clubs that he's been manager at is Barca, Bayern, and Man City.
Yeah, I wonder if that will mean Man City slide next year potentially. We'll see who they get as coach.
I
think I don't know if it's the Chelsea's current manager or former manager for Chelsea was front runner. I think because he posted like a lack of a better word, a tribute video during the week, and I think it was basically like there's no reason for it. It's just time.
Guardiola will begin working as an ambassador and technical advisor for City Football Group, the parent company that owns Man City. So he's got a nice little corporate gig and probably a bit less stress, and has done everything.
Fly around the world to help out all the other City-related clubs. Well, it said 10 there on the list, so there's plenty of affiliations for them to run around.
How many leagues did he win? Was it 6?
A lot of trophies.
Career statistics.
I'm just going to go EPL League.
Oh, winners. Yeah, just do that.
So in the Pep era, 2016, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
So Liverpool had 2, and Arsenal in there with a Chelsea, maybe his first year.
Yeah, with 2 runners up as well.
Yeah, crazy.
So out of his 10 years, 8, he finished either first or second.
Yeah.
Then there was 3 FA Cups, 5 League Cups, 3 FA Community Shields, 1 Champions League, UEFA Super Cup, and 1 FIFA Club World Cup. 20 trophies.
A lot of trophies.
Yeah.
A lot of trophies.
Bloke and coach.
10-year. You want to coach the Dragons? Imagine that.
Yeah. I say, what would they pay him for
I
a
mean-
season to be the same as he gets his one match?
Yeah, one match, baby.
If that.
I was going to try and talk some shape in a Spanish accent, but we might let that one go through the keeper.
Mate,
I don't know.
you can only do Italian. So.
I don't know if I can do either, to be honest. Anyways, end of an era there for Pep and Man City. And yeah, some really interesting possible outcomes in what, the next 8 hours.
Yeah, that's top of the table.
Yeah, so let's go down to the bottom. So we're having a look pre-show. Spurs can miss, but they have to lose, and West Ham have to win. That is the only equation that can happen here because the draw is out of it. So Spurs 38 points, West Ham 36 points. Burnley and Wolves obviously are long gone. So West Ham at Leeds and Tottenham Everton. Are they at Everton? I feel like it's...
I'm going to break this.
Matches.
No, it's at home.
It's at home.
So that's good. Good for them, and a very handy couple of draws that they got from the last few weeks. So yeah, that's
Beating the Hammers, I think, was massive for them too.
yeah,
One up on them.
direct essentially. That's like a 6-point swing, isn't it? When you beat your direct opponent. West Ham also at home to Leeds. Look at West Ham doing their best not to get relegated.
Yeah.
Won 3 of their last 5. So yeah, watch this space if Spurs are to go down. I did see as well Hull City won the championship playoff.
Okay.
So they'll be coming up. Have a look at the other 2 as well. You know how that works? It's 1 and 2 automatic, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 play a semi-final and a final for that last spot.
Champions League? No, you're not going to get it there.
You need the championship.
Yeah, it's a championship.
It's bugging me wide. I can't remember off the top of my head. No, it's not coming to me.
Anyone else recently oh my God, I can't even say it.
We're all struggling here, aren't we? 10 o'clock on a Sunday night.
Yeah. Anyone else that had gone down recently coming back?
There you go. Coventry and Ipswich. That's right.
Ipswich.
Because Ed Sheeran's massive Ipswich guy.
Yeah.
So, and then
Millwall.
yeah, well, Millwall. If Millwall went up and West Ham went down, that would have been interesting because they fucking hate each other.
Yes.
And then Hull were able to do it from 6th.
Yeah.
So getting through Middlesbrough, Southampton, and Millwall. And it was Southampton overnight for the championship final. I think Socceroo, Riley McGree done his hammy in that as well. Poor fella.
Oh, that's what it says there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Is it?
Injured ahead of World Cup.
Click on that because if
It's
we
3
know
weeks, isn't it?
what injury, well, it depends. If it's high grade, that's probably his whole World Cup. If it's low
It
grade,
says
he might be all
hammy.
right. Stocker's notorious.
hamstring.
Yeah, hamstring injury.
Yeah, they probably won't know grade just yet.
Yeah, and they won't often tell you in
Yeah.
soccer. So
He's got-
3 weeks out, if it's low grade, he'll be all right. If it's moderate, he's in trouble. If it's high grade,
Yeah.
that's his World Cup.
Well, not for someone else, isn't it?
Anyways, it's
Yep.
it's also probably not a bad little segue
Yep, World Cup.
into the World Cup, which is only 3 and a bit weeks away. We have squads for about half, I think, is what I've been seeing. Obviously, the last roll of the dice for Ronaldo and Messi and maybe even Neymar, a bit younger than the other 2, but made selection through Brazil. If you go into this, Monks, and click on squads, teams, you should be able to find a link to who's actually announced their squads. Because I was having a look at this.
I saw England announce theirs.
A few that missed out. That
It was I did see a lot of
I think Trent
commentary
Alexander-Arnold
around-
missed out.
Yeah, about who guys missed out. To finish on Ronaldo, he did win the Saudi Pro League. So Al Nasser did win that in the end. So he adds another trophy to his cabinet.
Yeah, the money he's getting there, you'd hope they'd fucking win.
Yes.
I think he scored 2
In the
for them to
final?
win. Yep.
I think they scored 3 and he got the last one.
Maybe that was it.
For England, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and Trent Alexander-Arnold all missed out.
Mm.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Some pretty crazy depth.
Yes. I was just going to say, then again, they haven't won anything. So,
Same old story with
Yeah.
England, isn't it?
Yeah. Blood some new guys.
It's coming home. So Brazil have their squad.
Yeah.
I think
I saw a bunch of them.
France and Germany are both named. Italy's.
This is probably like
Actually, funny story. I'm pretty sure I saw maybe Coca-Cola. You can get like teams for every. You can get a can for every team attending the World Cup. You had Italy.
They made one.
Yeah.
A pity can.
Yeah, exactly. A pity can.
Is
That could have been
is
Bob, actually, now
Turkey's
I think
squad
about it.
there? It's prelim, 35-man prelim.
Yeah.
yeah.
Turkey, I'm actually a bit worried about them
Mm-hmm.
because you look at some of the clubs. Look, Juventus, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund. Like on paper, they are going to be stronger than us. Brighton, Roma,
Yeah.
United's backup keeper is Turkish.
And again, on paper, most teams in the World Cup are better than us. So.
Yeah, but we only have to worry about 3 of them. So it's going to be, I think Paraguay's going to be the big one. I think if you lose any, you could be in trouble. But if you lose to Paraguay, I think we're in deep shit. Yeah. Socceroos will announce their final squad June 1. So we still have a week until Tony Popovich names his final squad. And then we're only 3 weeks away from the World Cup. Pretty wild.
Yeah, it's getting very, very close.
Look at Netherlands coach name. Dick Advocate. I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced. Oh, no, it's Curaçao's coach. He's a Dutch guy. Sorry, that's just all the Dutch flag. Dick Advocate. That might be cute. We'll start to wrap this thing up. Let's go into the final round here, boys.
There we go.
Run us away.
Again, the fight fans have been eating good over the last couple of weeks, especially with some big heavyweight boxing going on, but I'll get to that in a minute. Let's start with MMA, Mixed Martial Arts. We did have the MVP organization run their Netflix show. Jake Paul's a big promoter of that. Suppose we did 17 million views on the old Netflix, so bowl accounts did really well. Big names. Ronda Rousey came back, taking on Gina, Carl, something like that.
Rano?
Yeah, something like that. Didn't matter. Ronda ran through her in 15 seconds. Took her down, armbarred her. That's all she wrote. Francis Ngannou came back, had another big knockout, so he's still floating around looking for some competition. Did call out John Jones, who was on commentary at the event. Nate Diaz and Mike Perry had a bit of a war. Diaz all blooded up, big cuts. Fight was stopped from cuts because he had blood everywhere. So that was a pretty fun old fight. And then Gino Dos Santos got absolutely murdered as well in this for his kind of...
How old is he?
He's in his 40s, definitely.
Mid to late, I would have thought.
I think it was like a comeback, 42, comeback/retirement fight. And yeah, he did absolutely get killed in this one.
Actually, younger than what I thought. He's been out of the UFC a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Oh, if you can get his record, when was his last fight? So he fought... Yeah, it's been 2 years since his last fight.
They're bare-knuckle MMA.
Yes.
So his last fight in the UFC was against Cyril Gane in 2020.
Yeah, so 6 years outside of the UFC. Yeah.
Heavyweight is so hard.
Yeah, and he was fighting a well-known like kickboxing champion. So
I'm just looking at his final run for the UFC.
He said this dude's name.
Oh, fuck if I know.
He's
Rebellis
French.
d'Espagne.
Yeah, knocked him out bad, real bad. So it was a bit of a fun old card. A lot of like old name veterans, probably outside of Ngannou, on this actual card. So, but it was a bit of fun. Then we had UFC 328
last weekend.
Yeah, after that, I think so.
Was it? Maybe 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago, yeah. Well, I can't remember the exact order. So Joshua Van retained his title there in the flyweights, but the big one to talk about was Hamzat taking on Strickland, and Strickland getting the nod on the judges with the 3-2 for rounds. So Strickland, new middleweight champion. What do you boys think?
Crazy. I think it's good for the UFC to have the underdog, and a lot of people didn't give him too much of a chance
Not at all.
to get it back. And
It was a pretty interesting fight, and Hamzat was just happy to eat jabs in this, and his face showed it at the end because I think he ate over 100 of them. But
do you think they got the call right? Because it was a split decision.
I think, yes. I had it 3-2 for Strickland. And I think there was a couple of rounds there where Hamzat wanted to wrestle and couldn't get the results he wanted. I think he came on stronger in sort of the middle rounds, but I think Strickland ended better. So for me, I thought it was the right call. There was questions about Hamzat and his weight cut to get there and whether he weighed incorrectly or not to actually make the weight, because supposedly he was angling for a fight against, it wasn't Pereira, someone at light heavyweight. Might have been.
He cuts a lot.
It might have been Yuria, actually. I can't remember exactly. There was chat that he was going to do a light heavyweight fight instead. So it was actually had a bit more weight. I think he was like 220 or something. So yeah, he had a big cut and might have struggled a little bit. Whether that meant he gassed a bit in this, but I'll give all credit to Strickland. I think, he landed the most and showed sort of the action.
His cardio's insane, Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
So if you can, against a wrestler, have good takedown defense and push them to 5 rounds, you're giving yourself the best chance. And obviously hit him more times than he got hit. So
the challenging thing in the middleweight division, I don't think there's any huge guys kind of pressing the card to actually come up now, because a lot of the guys have moved on.
Well, you got a lot of older guys, don't you, that are starting to
fade, and then the young guys really haven't come through yet. So a rematch.
What about
probably
Drickers?
Well, yeah, it's that rotation though. So do you run Drickers through Strickland again?
He just lost as well, didn't he, DDP?
To Hamzat. So I don't think he's fought since that loss. So is that love triangle? You just do a rotation of that, or is the rematch there? Yeah. So he lost to Hamzat, as you can see there. And
Imavov is probably next one. He's on a 5-strike. 5 win streak. It's getting late. Yeah. He doesn't have an opponent just yet.
But there's not really a bunch of dudes kind of jumping out in that space at all to so I think rematch probably make too much sense, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it will be a run it back situation.
Yeah. And then see if Drakus can get a win in that time frame and then put himself back in the conversation. So, it's a bit of a turnover in the middleweight division with Pereira going up and Israel kind of and Whitaker kind of getting towards the back end of their careers now, moving down the rankings. So.
That's got to be run it back, right? Like I'm looking at that now properly, because DDP can't come off a loss, Hamzat lose, and then him just to jump the queue. Yeah,
well, there's a lot of talk about Hamzat going to light heavyweight. Like he wants to probably end up there as maybe better overall position for weight. So.
He's 6'2", so probably has the frame to go up there.
Seems he carries a lot of weight. So So that was 328. What was interesting was during this MVP, my mixed martial arts card, the UFC did announce that McGregor is coming back.
Crazy.
He's going to fight Max Holloway for their second fight, run it back, and that's going to be on July 11th. So, yeah, that's a big, I think it's 5 years from McGregor since his last fight.
That's 329, isn't it?
Could be.
I think so,
because could be very close to that.
Because the White House card doesn't. It's a Freedom 250.
Yeah, Freedom 250. Yes.
Yeah. America. Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting. That fight is at welterweight, which is another weight up for Holloway. But McGregor's not a big welterweight, regardless.
Sure.
It just means he doesn't have to do a big weight cut. I think is the main thing out of that. So yeah, I think it'll be a fun fight. Not sure. Don't think BMF's involved in that, and I can't actually remember who has that currently. Maybe it's Gagey. But anyway, actually no, he beat Gagey, so maybe he's got it. You can find that out from Jimmy. Who's got the BMF bill at the moment?
I think you're right. That
I feel like it's Holloway, but
that 329 card is announced in full. So McGregor and Holloway to be the main event. Paddy Pimblett versus Benoit Saint Denis, Corey Sandhagen, Mario Batista, Brendan Royval versus Kavanagh.
Yeah.
Our boy Robbie Whitaker down there.
Yep. Gabe Stevenson's in there too. He's the NCAA most dominant wrestler in history.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it looks
and
like
getting trained by John Jones. So
yeah, insane
Jones has
talent.
said he's the future is going to dominate the heavyweight division for a decade. Kind of was what he's saying. So we'll be interested to see how that goes. They do have the interim heavyweight fight happening in UFC 250, and probably preview that on the next pay-per-view. Speaking of heavyweights, do you want to talk about some boxing? Are you happy there? Yep. We've got, there was 2 fights. We had Usyk fight this morning, but go back a little bit. We had Daniel Dupuis, is that how he says?
Dubuis, I think.
Dubuis.
I always struggle with that one.
Yeah, he fought Wardley. Wardley did knock him down twice early in this fight, but Daniel, over the rest of the fight, kind of took over and battered him. So by the end of it, his face was all messed up. Absolute warrior there for Wardley. He's probably like 4 rounds straight where he ate power punches the entire time. He just like big shot after big shot. Daniel couldn't put him away. But in the end, he did get the stoppage. I think the ref jumped in at the right time and saved him from any further damage, because there are some photos going around of the ref pre-fight and post-fight, where it was like nice clean shirt, and then at the end covered in blood. Because it was you've got the headline there of brutal massacre. It did turn into that sort of fight. And then we had Usyk taking on Rico this morning. I'd love, Jimmy, if you can find out Rico's history. My understanding is he's been a kickboxing legend for the best part of the last 2 decades, and a world champion in that time frame. So, has that kickboxing history, but maybe, doesn't have that boxing pedigree. Only has a 1-0 record in boxing. I believe only recently, as of like a week or so ago, they made this fight for one of the belts, a heavyweight belt. So there was a belt on the line. What was interesting, it was a pretty close fight. If you listen to commentary, Rico was ahead significantly. They thought that Usyk wasn't doing enough, and was maybe a bit lethargic compared to his usual fighting style. The actual judges, they had it even up to the 10th round, with one having Rico ahead. So it was a pretty close fight. I think statistically it was really close. So the commentary maybe was expecting more out of Usyk than what actually happened. So whereas the judges maybe saw it more evenly. So it was an interesting sort of fight, but it didn't matter, because Usyk kind of took over in the 11th. Rico had a very interesting, what would I call it? Like a bouncy, jumpy style to his boxing, always moving. And I think that caused Usyk a bit of a problem. But I think he also was happy to wait, and then wait till right at the end, see if he tired out and made mistakes. And that's what happened in the 11th round. You saw he tired out. He was kind of Rico was trying to push the pace, come forward. And then Usyk picked him apart. Big uppercut, knocks him down. Big knockdown with, say, 15 seconds to go. He gets the 10 count, gets back up. Usyk pulls it on. And then the ref jumps in to end the fight. Maybe when the bell goes. Maybe a second after the bell. Some questions there about early stoppage, whether he could have taken some more. I think once I saw the slow-mo where Rico ate like 4 clean shots, just flush. He's just like, I can see why the ref maybe was in the process of jumping in. The question of the bell actually ringing was kind of like maybe he was already saved by the bell, was a bit in there. A lot of people saying it was an early stoppage. I think they also forgot how bad the knockdown was, because it's a massive uppercut and he falls through the ropes essentially. Like it's a big knockdown. So I think, considering he's not a boxer per nature, the ref maybe jumped in a little earlier, kind of like Conor Mayweather, if you remember that.
It's only his 2nd professional boxing fight left.
Correct.
That's crazy.
But you look at his kickboxing record.
Yeah, crazy. But they're 2 different sports, and you're fighting one of the best heavyweights of all time.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible
to
for him to take that.
And to push him deep, like real deep, and to, Usyk having to like end the fight to maybe go to a questionable judging decision. It was pretty impressive to watch the end of that fight. He's huge, by the way. Like, he had
6'5",
40 pounds, I think, on who's checking this as well.
Who's actually a bit of a shorter heavyweight.
Yeah, he was, cruiserweight that came up. So it was the heaviest that Usyk ever fought. So there were some questions about whether that he was lethargic because he's carrying the extra weight. I'm thinking it was because it was in Egypt, we outside, near the pyramids. Maybe whether some of the weather played a part a little bit too. But Usyk, the champion that is really showed his pedigree very late in this fight to get the win.
His record goes to 25-0. He's 39 years of age. Does he have anything left to prove?
He's got no. He doesn't need to prove anything. I think he's the best heavyweight of this current generation by the names listed there. He's beaten everyone that you can think of that's in the top of that division.
Fury, Joshua.
So this Fury Joshua fight's going to happen by all accounts. Maybe he takes on whoever wins that. Maybe if it's Fury, go the trilogy, or actually it'll be a trilogy against Joshua as well. So I think he's actually been training with Joshua, so I don't think that's going to happen again. With Daniel's win before, he's back in that conversation. But I think he's beaten him twice as well, so it would be for a trilogy. I think this is why this Rico fight was put together. There's no one else kind of banging down the door, and he was very keen to come across and kind of prove himself in the boxing world, and I think he did a really good job.
Yeah.
And that, I think, sums up all the fighting. We just finished with F1.
Just having a look at how you actually meant to pronounce it. Common American English
boys?
is du bois. Du bois.
Du bois.
And in French, du bois.
Wow.
Du bois.
Yeah. So he, after his win, he'll be back in the conversation for getting an angle at one of those belts. So, but yeah, Usyk's is too good.
Yep.
Yeah, it was impressive. I did watch it this morning. It was good TV. Finish with some racing.
We'll do 250 on the next pod, like the preview.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Bastian Vettel.
Big day for race fans. I think we talked about it. You got IndyCar at 2:00. You've got the Canadian GP at 6, and then you've got NASCAR at 8:00. I think it is the Coca-Cola 600. So, you could watch almost 12 hours of racing today, or this morning. But we're going to talk about F1. Feels like the F1 season really hasn't got going, or hasn't really started with all its breaks. We've had 3 weeks between Miami, so we're getting back together. Yeah. So we do get Canada tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock our time. Yeah, only the 5th race.
Crazy, yeah.
For a season that started in March. So, it is a bit crazy. So far, the weekend's been dominated by the Mercedes. They've come with some really big upgrades. They start 1-2. Did start 1-2 for the sprint race, and will start 1-2 for the Grand Prix. Then they're followed by the McLarens, Lando and Oscar in that order, and that'll be the same. They'll be on the second row in that order for the GP. The sprint race was actually pretty fun because Kimi was dive bombing Russell left, right, and center, running it all over the grass trying to get overtakes. Did, of course, lose a position to Lando to finish in 3rd. But that's kind of where it is with Ferrari kind of in the 5th and 6th spot. So that's kind of where we're kind of seeing these battles leading into this Canadian GP tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see how, been some jokes for Toto that, Russell and Kimi is kind of going back to Rosberg and Hamilton of 2016. So 2 guys that probably are going to compete for the World Championship, Drivers' Championship this year. If McLaren can't stick their nose in there. So it's going to, hopefully the season kind of picks up. But I think after Canada, they have another break. Do you have the list of the dates? He does have the dates there.
Yes, it's a fortnight.
Fortnight. So it's another fortnight.
To Monaco.
Another fortnight. No, week. Fortnight. Week. Fortnight.
You start to get a good run with that European swing.
Yeah.
So
through July into through the July there you'll get
till the summer break.
Yeah.
So we've only had 5 races, and then going into the middle of July, you get Monaco, Barcelona, Austria, British, Belgian, Hungarian.
Yeah. So hopefully by then we'll see how competitive it is. I'd like to see McLaren and Ferrari, not make it a dominant Mercedes season, kind of stick the noses in there.
How's the circuit in Montreal? Because looking at it, I remember sort of...
It's good. I think
it's in the middle of the St. Lawrence River, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wraps around the river, doesn't it? So
I think it's on an island in the middle of the river.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of interesting turns in there, some big straights as well. So, It's a good old little circuit, so it'll be a fun little race. Like I said, 6 a.m. in the morning, our time for that one.
That's good viewing time.
Yep. If you get up early in the morning, you'll be there.
Always up early.
Especially with Brats these days.
All right. Anything else to add?
I think that's it.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, we skipped over the NFL. Nothing really too much happening. A few quarterbacks coming back.
We'll definitely keep an eye on that as the training camps start to heat up and we get some position battles. Yeah, we get into the American summer. I think from a US standpoint, obviously basketball. Oh, we didn't mention hockey's in playoffs at the moment.
Yeah, we'll when they get to the Stanley Cup, we'll care.
Yeah. Do one Shatterby.
Yeah.
Win a season.
IPL still going. There's plenty of stuff.
There's cricket stuff. Yeah,
plenty of stuff we didn't even get to.
When Australia got on, do we have a winter test match, or is it not till August?
July, August.
It's August, I think.
It is August.
Yeah, it's top end.
Yeah.
So I think it's Bangladesh that's coming over for those 2 tests.
Okay.
But it also means we get test cricket from August. It's
flat out.
It's flat stick. Yeah.
Cricket's a bit quiet for
international cricket is, I should say.
Yes.
We then go for some white ball after that series. But yeah, there's a lot of Australian team red and white ball from sort of mid-August, which doesn't seem that long, that far away.
No.
Nope. Definitely
Runs
not.
up on you quick.
Sure.
And then August is
does.
preseason NFL, and then we do another season again.
Yep.
Bunsies.
Thanks to the boys in the chat. A few
Thanks,
new
lads.
listeners there. Appreciate you here with us tonight. Hit that subscribe button if this is the first time you've found us. We are On The Esky. It's an Aussie sports podcast. We obviously like our footy in the wintertime, our cricket in the summertime, and all year round we're keeping an eye on some sports around the world, namely over in America, but also a bit of motorsport, a bit of context, or what am I trying to say?
Fighting.
The
biffs.
Martial arts.
Fisty cuffs.
And yeah, we'll obviously Origin a few nights away.
Yeah,
for,
big Origin.
Yeah, for
Big week for footy.
us league fans, and then
Queenslander.
yeah, we'll see. Probably the next time we
World Cup.
next time we pod, we'll be pretty close to the World Cup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And game 2. So.
Yep.
That'll wrap us up. All right, we'll
Thanks,
see you in a
boys.
few weeks' time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.